You thought I was done. I know you did. I know you did. I know you looked at the channel. You said this nigga has gone live not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 motherfucking times today. He has already gone live not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 times today. He must have went to bed. He must be done for the night. Or I must be at the head, neck, and shoulders. You could not have fucked that up all the way if you had tried. You were so wrong. Not only am I going live again, I have saved my best shit of the day. And I've dropped a lot of bombs on this channel today, but I have saved my best shit of the day for last. I did that. I did that just for y'all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the show. We're gonna have a little musical interlude. We're gonna catch a vibe because that's how we do things over here. This our shit. We do our shit how we like to do our shit. Then we gonna get into the message and the movement. And when I tell you, it's very important information. And catch a little vibe, and then we go, very important information. Damn, he went live again. He went live for a 5th time today. Oh, shit. They must really be in trouble. They must have done fucked it up now. Let's start the show.
So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pots flipped. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Split the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen a change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs in the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute just to front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules. Had my first child, got it jumping with music. Can't really hang with nobody who losing. I thought by now that you would go and get it, but I could hardly see niggas as distant. Know you get cropped if you not in the picture. And I made that tag and went got a bag. Shots to the Henny and OG prescriptions, put rebel shit on the map. Took a leap from where I started at. Started ballin' now, I'm Chris Paul and Cats. Got him steady calling for the mold, but I'm on a roll, gotta call him back. And that's all fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. All aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should now be clear. All electronic devices should now be turned off and stowed, as they may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication systems. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you may use approved electronic devices, but note that some items may not be used at any time during the flight. You'll find a list of approved devices in the in-flight
Mm. Gang, we have found ourselves currently in this very moment in quite the predicament. I'm caught between two very conflicting emotions. I really am. The part of me that wants to hit this play button to get this party started so badly. Because it's going to be a good one. It sure is. But the other part of me is simply soaking up the anticipation. If you could feel the tingle in my nervous system. The way I am just so in a state of inner arousal, you know? It's like a hard on, but your dick doesn't get hard. Your whole entire consciousness becomes erect with excitement. Because you know what you're about to show the people tonight. It's going to leave the people entertained. It's going to leave the people informed. It's going to leave the people inspired. And it's going to leave the people with so much to think about. It's when you just know you have something so lovely to share with somebody. You really want to give it to them, but at the same time, you're just enjoying the buildup. You know what I'm saying? You're just enjoying you're just riding the wave. And in this precious moment of last anticipation, before we get this party started, I have to confess to you, my dear viewer, I like this shit. I do. Yeah, see, when somebody fucks with my friend, and then I try to cover it, and people make me out to be the bad guy, yeah. It gives me a chance to use my real life professional wrestling heel energy to do what I do best as a bad guy, which is ruin people's fucking days. And part of me just gets off on that shit. Let me just have a Y'all, it's time to let these people know how we get down over here. The only thing we are sorry about is we are so not motherfucking sorry at all. Uh-oh, I done hit the button. Ladies, this is for us tonight. Ladies, gather around. Told you these men are not gonna make this community safe. So it's time to step our game up. Clean out this motherfucking rat's nest. Unapologetically. You feel that?
Ooh, and now I'm out there looking like revenge. Best I ever been. Hey, and yeah, I know I'll bet it must hurt to see me like this, but it is worse. Now you're out there looking like regret. Ain't too proud to break second chance you'll never get. And yeah, I know I'll bet it must hurt to see me like this, but it gets worse. Now payback is savage, baby, I'm the baddest. You fucking with the savage. Can't have this, nah. But it'd be nice for me to take it easy on you tonight. Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Being so mad.
Got me feeling so good. I'm not sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Feeling inspired 'cause the tables are turning.
We bought the motherfucking horns tonight.
Baby, finance is a way to kill. Tell me how it feels, but it's such a bitter feeling. Yeah, I know you thought you had bigger, better things than right now this change. 'Cause the grass is greener under me. Brown is taking color, I can tell that you can see. How bad it was hard to see me like this,
But it gets worse.
Baby, I'm a bad bitch. Baby, I'm the baddest. You fucking with the savage. Can't help this, can't help this. And
It'd be nice for me to take it easy on ya.
you know, come and sing it with me. Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
It's something I've been feeling so good. Showing you off like I knew that I would. Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Feeling inspired.
When they already had their years to get their shit together, and now it's way too little too late. Better walk, baby. If you talk, that talk, baby. Better walk, If only we've been trying to tell you how to ride these people off for years. If you're talking about the Christians all day and you don't slay when the violence comes your way, okay, sorry. I'm not sorry, baby, I'm sorry. You're so sorry, being this bad got me feeling so good. You fucking around, but you was in my head. And now you're sorry, you're so sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
You're so sorry.
Feeling inspired 'cause the tables have turned, and I'm a fire, better know that it's bad. Not sorry.
Being this bad got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but you in my hood. And niggas are sorry. You're so sorry. Niggas are sorry. You're so sorry. Being this bad got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but you was in my hood. Now you're sorry. You're so sorry. Sorry. They so sorry. Being this bad got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but you're in my hood.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh. Woo. How we done it to them, gang? How we done it to them, gang? Or did they do it to themselves? That's the question we're going to answer tonight. Have we done it to them, gang? Or did they do it to themselves? Second question. Have we done it to them, gang? Or are we just getting started? The sponsors of this year's NanoCon are Polaris Financial Planning, the American Humanist Association, American Atheist, God, Father, Engineer. Did I say that right? Did I say it with the right tone of voice? With the right degree of reverence? Hate to have to be afraid of a guy like that. Ruh-roh. Black non-believers. Where you at? 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 If you want to come and take a ride with me, be black non-believers, we could go see if you riding now with the white boys. Must be the money. If y'all want to come and take a ride with us, then get off the motherfucking horn bus. Oh, why do we feel this way? Must be the money. The Humanist of Tennessee, the atheist community of Austin. Man, who's been hanging out on that channel lately? SR Incorporate. Oh, sorry, Secular Rarities Company, Secular Rarities Baby, Secular Rarities Sorry, what's that called? Sorry, Secularizing U.S. There we go. Serious. Why so serious? Recovering from Religion, the Secular Student Alliance, the Clergy Project, Americans United for Separation of Church and State Nashville, Think Squared Media, Stephen Barry LMT Massage Services, and Think This Through, a YouTube channel, the featured sponsors of this year's Nano CON. The featured speakers start with Matt Dillahunty, and I'm wondering when he became the featured speaker at NanoCon. And if you wondering what I'm wondering, if you're feeling what I'm feeling, we should be asking these people why we ain't feeling what they feeling, cause we ain't hearing shit from none of them. It didn't rhyme and it was still a banger. Promise Backlund, Hemet Meta, the friendly atheist who don't give a fuck if one of your other friendly atheists gets thrown down the stairs, strangled, and sexually assaulted. Monte Mater, Fish Stark, Forrest Valkai, Candace Gorham, Glenda Jordan, Kevin Crow, Christina Celeste, Gail Jordan. Wouldn't it be crazy if one of the featured speakers was married to the, or in a whatever, I don't even know what to call that, with the internal investigator who handled the sexual assault at NanoCon, David Teachout, Sam McGuire, Will Judy, Jake Villa, and that human waste of a perfectly good ejaculate. The apple of my eye, my muse on this evening, if you will. The star of the mother fucking show, AJ. I'd just like to congratulate you on your very, very recent, very, very life-changing accomplishment, AJ. AJ Ruley, I just want to congratulate you on accomplishing something most people thought someone like you would never be qualified of achieving. Yeah, people underestimated you. When I tell you people underestimated you, people underestimated you. And you proved all those underestimators wrong. And it is time you get your flowers and your just desserts. So congratulations. Congratulations. Do you know what you won, AJ Ruley? Let me tell you. Right over here in this secret pocket of mine, I'm going to give you my undivided attention. Yep. Congratulations. Tonight you've done it. Really outdone yourself. Very much impressed me. And you have earned. And when I say earned, girl, I do mean earned. My undivided attention. And since this is Ladies Night follow-up, and did we have a time last night? Check it out on the channel if you missed it. But since this is the follow-up, I hope all the other ladies will give you their undivided attention tonight as well. Yeah. Congratulations, AJ. Congratulations. Really, really overachieving out here. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Speaking of doubt about it, wouldn't it be crazy if that was AJ Ruley and Glenda's partner, the guy who handled the internal investigation on a video that was made, 2 days ago, talking about NanoCon conference safety? You don't believe me?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is AJ. And today I'm joined by... Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is AJ. And today I'm joined by Elliot Kenter to talk about safety at secular conferences.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty much what I said it would be. Yep. Her and the internal investigator talking about conference safety. Interesting. Pay attention now. Don't not pay attention on me. Very important broadcast. I don't do this shit for no reason. I'm a professional educator. My time spent educating people is how I put food on the table. I'm not educating for giggles. I'm educating for your safety. Okay, pay attention. Remember this scene right here. Remember this was posted by the NanoCon on the NanoCon channel 2 days ago. Pay attention. There's going to be a quiz at the end. You want to hear the rest of that, go do your homework. Remember this. This is a 17-page document that AJ has been spreading around. Remember that number? I said 17 pages. What is 17 pages close to? If you were to round 17 up, it'd be roundabouts. Would you round 17? Would you round it down to 10? Or would you round 17 maybe up to around, I don't know, let's just call it 20-ish maybe? Maybe 17 would be rounded up to maybe 20-ish maybe. Just hang on. I know that's math. I know a lot of you guys don't like math. Just rock with me. Just hang on to the number 20. That's all you got to do. 17, 20. Okay, that's all we did. That's all we did. Went from 17 to 20-ish. That's it. That's all. Promise. No calculus. All right, so this is AJ's 17-page document. Should be linked in the description. I don't know. We'll see. Let's take a quick gander. Yeah, it looks like it's down there. Go down there and read it. Again, you're watching a professor's broadcast. I don't know why you don't expect homework. You've got 2 homework assignments. Go listen to this and see if that sounds like a good conference safety plan to you. Maybe then go compare it to the video I did on conference safety on this channel. That would be an interesting point of comparison. And then go check out AJ's manifesto here. How long is it? 17 pages. You're doing good. Now, it'd be crazy if she turned out to be the queen of the cover-up and then she's been playing in your face about it. Would that be crazy?
Say my name. You goddamn right. You know exactly who I am.
I sure do.
You guys know what show that's from. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
AJ, you right. Today, baby. You ain't got to pay for the night stay. You ain't got to pay for the rent. You ain't got to pay for the mortgage, baby. Tonight, your space in here. Compliments to the house. Just one more time, because it's going to matter. You're going to want to have heard it again just to make sure you understood all the way where she's at, what type of mood she's in about all of this.
Say my name.
Woo! Am I going to say AJ Ruley?
Right.
AJ Ruley.
You know exactly who I am.
AJ Ruley.
You guys know what show that's from.
I know it ain't from this one, or else nobody would fucking remember. You want to talk about why are these people trying to come up in an entertainment game when none of them are entertaining? Just a question. I know, total distraction. I'm getting sidetracked.
Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
Wouldn't it be crazy if by the end of this broadcast, you were one of the people she was talking about? Because I hope by the end of this broadcast, you've cleared out some space in there for AJ Ruley. I hope AJ Ruley is occupying all types of space in your mind after tonight's broadcast, rent-free in your head. I think that'd be a great result of tonight's stream. That'd be amazing. AJ, we're going to say your name. AJ Ruley. Y'all heard what she said. Y'all know how I feel about women's empowerment. She says, say her name. We are going to say your name. Could it be SR threw down the stairs another lady? Cause if you took it there, first of all, let me say, I am not the one to sit around and be played. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You've been running game. Say my name, say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You've been running game. Say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name. Give it to her. Say her name, honor her, give her what she wants. Say her name, right? Oh, AJ, you always wanted to hear the crowd rallying behind you. Say her name. Holy shit, your fucking coon and tap dancing pick me ass has found yourself like you all a part of the Black Lives Matter movement or some shit right now. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. We feeling it. We're with it. Say her name, y'all. AJ Ruley. Say that name over and over and over again. Moving right along, my dears. Let's talk about what's really happening to women in this online secular humanist atheist / whatever the fuck these bullshit ass fucking patriarchal capitalist white supremacist assholes are trying to brand themselves as these days with their fucking cult ass fake ass church bullshit, just saying fake ass church grift, unqualified failed ass white men griftaholic bullshit. Niggas ain't got no skills to pay no kind of bills nowhere. Just took that same pastor hustle, rebranded it as some atheist shit, put on a new jersey, and got back to the same motherfucking grift that keeps on grifting. But let's talk about what's happening to the ladies. Now, ladies, I told your ass to go back and watch that goddamn stream from last night. It's important. But in case you don't, let me just be real clear up front. I highly recommend you get all the way the fuck up out of here. This whole atheist YouTube counter apologist, fucking whatever the fuck you've been participating in, it's a goddamn cult and it's unsafe as shit. You should dip, move on to bigger and better things. Get back into your power. You know what I'm saying? Get back into your progress. Get back into your journey. Get back on your motherfucking bullshit. Get out there and be somebody. This atheist shit is for the birds. So I need you to do what the whistleblower. What did the whistleblowers do in this situation? What did the victim do? What did the victim's sister do? Did they sign up for the next Nano CON? Or did they get all the way up out of this community? You're like, oh, but I just saw Patty in the chat the other day. You sure did. Oh, I just seen Tsunami around in the stream the other day. You sure did. Oh, I'll be still seeing PC. Oh, I saw Kyle around. You sure did. You know why? Because I'm riding with them, and we at the scenic overlook. We told y'all. We was on the pileway. We was riding by, and we looked over the mountain pass, and we said, "Is that these niggas getting ready to go to fucking NanoCon all over again?" After we'd been trying to tell them for like 100,000 hours on the goddamn channel, NanoCon is not safe. Are they really about to do NanoCon again? And then we was high as fuck. You know how we get down. We was molding and cheersing and all that shit. We was high as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't driving. That's all I'm saying. And so we was like, fuck it, yo. Let's just pull over, get even more high, and just watch these dumbass motherfuckers go to NanoCon and just tell them how stupid that shit is the whole time while we watch them march on down to NanoCon. And we was like, oh, bet. That sounds fun. You know why? Because it's safe over here. It sounds fun because it's safe over here. That's why we're having a good time, because it's safe over here. My friends got up out of there. Nancy got up there, out of there. Patty got up out of there. So they're not going to be the next victim. So we kind of chilling from the scenic overpass, hurling criticisms from a very safe distance. That's what I think you should do. But if you're going to stay, You need to understand what the fuck is really going on. You gotta grab some of your down ass sisters. None of them fucking pick me types. Them pick me types is gone. None of the ones that's trying to really grow their channel and they all focused on their fucking little business and shit. Toss them to the side. If they involved in one of these fucked up ass nonprofits, kick them to the curb. I'm just trying to give you the real advice now. You could fuck around with all the bullshit if you want to, but we're trying to tell you what's going on around here. Okay? They involved in any of that shit, just kick them to the curb. They automatically useless. Okay? Now, once you find the real ass sisters and say, no, we have to stay here because this is our home and we got to fight for the shit that we, been a part of and whatever, like, that's cool. I get that. You know what I'm saying? People ask a lot of people. I used to ask my professors when I was in college, yo, you got money, you got a good career, you got a good little family, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you just dip out to somewhere safe and then you don't have to deal with all the bullshit here? And they was like, this is my home. I'm going to stay here and fight because this is my home. Now, again, me personally, when my home is no longer safe, I'm going to find me a new home. That's just me. That's just me. If I got the chance to dip up out of America with the right job offer, oh, I'm on the plane already. You already, the next stream you see, I'll be like, gang, I'm in international waters, baby. Okay? I haven't worked that out quite yet. But I'm telling you, I would just get all the way up out here. But if you're going to stay and fight for your home, I understand, okay? But you got to get real, okay? So let's talk about it. I'm going to get into it. Everything I show on tonight's stream is fucking important. Pay the attention. There's a quiz at the end. Pay the attention, okay? It's important shit. Ladies, let's go. Men, I swear to God, if y'all start with the bullshit, I'm insta-blocking dudes. Dudes could get blocked and timed out so fast tonight, you have no fucking idea. Okay? This is some shit for amongst us ladies. I be telling y'all, all my friends are ladies. On a good day, I'm just one of the ladies. I'm not really a lady, okay? But I'm trying to do my best to channel my feminine energy and fucking talk to my sisters right now, okay? So men, be on your fucking best behavior or I will show you out the fucking door, okay? Thank you.
Guys, I really feel like you're missing the plot on this one. Guys, I really feel like you're missing the plot on this one, okay? So with all due
Thank
respect,
you, Philbert.
can
That was
you
dope,
just
bro.
hear me out, all right? Because I see all these men freaking out about how, well, it's not 62 million men, it's 62 million visits. That's not what women are reacting to, okay? Women are reacting to the loss of their last perceived safe space.
Okay, do you see where it's going? Do you see where we're going tonight, ladies? Do you catch that? Listen again, pay attention.
Okay, we know the rules in parking lots, right? We know the rules.
Hang on, I got the whole keyboard situation fucked up. Here we go.
About how, well, it's not 62 million
Pay
men,
attention, ladies.
62 million visits. That's not what
That's not the
what
story.
women are reacting to.
What's the story here? Tell them what the story is.
Women are reacting to the loss of their last perceived safe space.
Boom. Why are you stunned into inaction over what happened to Nancy here? Mm-hmm. Did you make the connection, connecting the dots yet? Mm-hmm. It's because you're mourning the loss of your last perceived safe space, right? I'm gonna just throw a couple guesses out there. Tell me if any of this resonates with you. If not, I apologize. I can't cold read that well. That shit's magic anyway. All right, anyway. You came out of Christianity. It was all sorts of fucked up, okay? And then when you came out, you was like, damn, the Christianity was bullshit. I had to let that go. But now I'm missing community, camaraderie, friends, people to talk to on a regular basis, people to get to know who are getting to know me. And you know what? I'm just not into the other types of the scenes. I'm not into the other third spaces. I'm not into bars, clubs. I don't got money to be out there like that. I don't be traveling like that. You know what I'm saying? So this atheist YouTube thing, that's kind of where I started to feel home. I started to feel like there's like-minded people and, we get together regularly and we get to know one another. Okay. And we built this sense of community and it felt safe because it was secular. It felt safe because there was no longer the church and there was no longer all of that dogmatic social pressure. But what if the problem in the church wasn't necessarily the religion, right? But the problematic structures that the religion was used to uphold, right? Patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy. Y'all know the only three-headed devil I actually talk about on this channel because it's the only goddamn thing worth talking about. Patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy. That shit gets people killed. Duh, right? So you was over here and you thought you escaped the patriarchy, the capitalism, and the white supremacy because you dipped up out the church. But what you didn't realize was that they built the atheist YouTube space on that motherfucking same patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy. So you walked over here like, yo, oh, look, there's other secular girlies over here. Hey, my secular girlies, we about to do this. And y'all thought y'all was in a safe space because there was other secular girlies around and everything seemed all good. Now the shit with Nancy happens. A woman that you're familiar with gets thrown down the stairs, sexually assaulted and strangled, and nobody says nothing about it except for a few brave women come forward and like that one crazy black dude, and then they got their lives fucked all the way up and everybody watched that. So now nobody really wants to talk about it at all because everybody saw the people that talked about it get their shit all the way fucked up on live on YouTube in front of everybody. So now nobody will say shit. So the shit is unsafe as fuck. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? I can handle it. I understand. We're all going through this together. Trust me, girlies. My girlies and me, we've been going through the same shit. We lost all our friends. We got deplatformed. We got canceled off shows. We couldn't do appearances. They even can't. They told us we couldn't participate in the motherfucking community holidays. Ain't that some fucked up shit? Been doing the community holiday shit every year for like a whole bunch of years. And they was like, nah, you can't do that shit no more. You're too divisive. You see what I'm saying? This shit was all types of fucked up. So trust me, we've been hurting too. Okay, because we thought we was in with all the other girlies too. And then when our friend Nancy got thrown down the stairs, all the other girlies were like, no, I think she wanted him like that. And we were like, excuse you? What the fuck did you just say? Right? and they were like, no, seriously, listen to us. We were like, we are listening to you. And it sounds like you're blaming her. And they were like, well, we don't want to make it sound like we're blaming her because we were there to support her. But actually, yeah, she's lying. And it turns out she actually wanted it. And then it didn't happen anyway. I mean, so it doesn't really matter if she wanted it or not. But I'm just saying it didn't really happen and she's lying. And she almost went to jail. And actually, did anybody tell you we were worried about her taking advantage of him? And you're just like, the fuck did you just say to me, right? And that's where we're at together, right? So I just need you to understand we're all locked into this together, okay? We just lost that last safe space. Yes, in this story, it's women realizing that their husbands are gonna fuck their shit all the way up. Yes, that's terrible, right? They lost that last sense of their last safe space because it's literally their fucking bedroom, and the man they put a wedding ring on and birthed a child with. And they also were like, hey, since we're married, as long as like I'm kind of in the mood and you're kind of in the mood, we could have this thing called consensual sex. So they were already fucking this person. So they figured like, I'm already fucking this person. They're probably not going to like drug me when I'm asleep and rape me or have their friends do it, right? And so now they're like, holy shit, I don't know who the fuck I'm laying down next to, right? And at the same time you're dealing with that, you're realizing the president's a motherfucking pedophile. And we just went to like war to cover up the Epstein files because they were literally willing to go to war to not talk about the Epstein files. And then you're feeling like, okay, well, at least I got my secular girlies on YouTube and we can like vent and fucking be together in this fucking world is burning us around. But at least I got my motherfucking secular girlies. I with you because I was there. I was riding with y'all and I was like, yeah, at least I got my fucking secular girlies. But then again, Nancy got thrown down the stairs, strangled, and fucking sexually assaulted, and all the secular girlies were like, yeah, I think she wanted that shit real bad. And we were like, holy fuck, we ended up in another cult, right? So, all right, glad we're all on the same page. Let's go.
Okay. We know the rules in parking lots, right? We know the rules when we go out with our girlfriends. We know the rules when we're in a building alone, in an elevator, or in the stairwell. We get all that, okay? But we thought delusionally that we were still safe in the home. This is not a woe is me, all men are evil.
Right, you see? So you don't think of it, but what you thought you had on YouTube was like a new family, right? You thought that the same way you did that community. Remember what they call it about the church shit? What do they call that shit? Fictive kinship, right? Fictive kinship, right? Because, in Christ, you're brothers and sisters in Christ. So in that church community, you had that fictive kinship, that family, right? So then when you came over here to secular, she was like, moving on up to the peace side. But it wasn't the peace side or the east side. It was the women get thrown down the stairs and fucked all the way up and nobody says anything about it side. And then when you realized that, you were like, oh shit, I done fucked up, right? But what you're hanging on to now is this is where you found your next fictive kinship. This is where you found your new family, and you're realizing you are not safe in the home because now what is keeping you here is that connection with the other secular girlies. But you staying in the space with the other secular girlies is also why one of y'all might be the next one writing a goddamn 10-page notarized letter. See what I'm saying? And we don't want that.
Well, and let me address that up top, okay? Because if someone is saying something about women, right? And I know that doesn't apply to me, I don't get offended. So I really would encourage any man who's getting offended by women talking about this to do some introspection, all right? Because if they're not talking about you, then they're not talking about you, all right? And it doesn't matter if it's all men, because whenever something like this happens, you can bet sure than shit almost always it is a man. So if you don't like that, then get in your groups, get with your men, talk to them about what is the problem. Why are we treating
Yes.
women
Now,
and children?
this is a very important point. Why? Because you've had an unbelievable fucking opportunity in this community, right? That is, you've been able to watch this space that these motherfucking white boys built on patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy. And you've been around listening to their cherished conversations for years. You've been able to watch their content for years. So you know what's important to them, and you know how they address what's important to them. And how much time have they spent as the white boys who set all this patriarchal, capitalist, white supremacist, atheist bullshit up? How often have they centered the issues that really matter to women? I'll wait. Exactly. And now that this whole thing with Nancy happened, how much time have they spent addressing that and centering that and being like, holy shit, a woman could have died and something very dangerous happened. We have to all, as men, get together in our space here that we created. Because remember, men built this space, so this is their space. So the shit that happens in this space is the shit that happens in the space they built. So they built the shit. It's not safe for women. Something very unsafe happens to a woman. And do they get together and say, well, we built the space, men, let's address this and let's talk about it? Or do they participate in a coercive criminal conspiracy to cover it up? See Exhibit A, right? Right? See the problem? So men are not going to get together in this space to make it safer for women. They just had a chance to do that. We're sitting here a year later, they're still trying to cover it up and make sure nobody talks about it. So y'all have to realize, if you're going to stay in this space, if this is this is my new home and this is my new community, I'm going to fight for it. Again, you got to round up the real badass, down ass secular girlies. You can't be fucking waiting for these men. They're not going to do that shit. What she just said, hey men, y'all got to get together. I could not agree more. Fucking white boys, y'all built this shit. This is your shit. You're the ones who keep it in platform. You're the ones who get paid. You're the ones who have influence. You're the ones who have power. Do some motherfucking leading up in this bitch. But do y'all think I would recommend that you sit around waiting for them to lead, or sending them, strongly worded letters begging them to lead? How far has that gotten women in society? Or have women only ever made strides ever when they realize, we're all we got, sisters? Let's get this shit going together and fuck these men. They ain't about shit. We got to do this ourselves. What has the history of women's, strides in society taught us thus far? Okay, good. Glad you're with us.
Children this way. But don't come to the women and cry about how, oh, well, it's not all men. Can you just listen to me for just a minute, like what it is like to be a woman, okay? Just things that, like, men, you don't have to worry about, all right? We can't go out drinking and or even to dinner and leave our drinks.
Think about that. People that bring this shit up on shows are getting blocked. People that call in on call-in shows and like, hey, can we talk about Nancy? They're like, hey, Jay, we're not going to do that. Why can't we do that? You're going to have to talk to the board about that. Why do I have to talk to the board to talk about a woman getting thrown down the stairs at a convention? I repeat, why do I have to talk to the board after being kicked off a show for wanting to talk about what happened at NanoCon? Y'all, does that feel normal to y'all? Does that feel, do you see what I'm saying about these men that are not going to do? Come on, ladies. Ladies, come on. Push-ups in the morning, sit-ups in the evening. We gotta get buff. We gotta get the stuff. We gotta hit the books. We gotta hit the gym. We gotta self-care, ladies. Self-care. You're about to go to war. If you really want to make this atheist shit safe, you're in for the long haul. Listen, I don't mean real combat, but what I mean is you gotta get organized. You gotta get educated. Y'all got to be strong. Y'all got to demand accountability. You got to demand professionalization. You got to demand that the space become, the people in influence and power become real professionals who have the real expertise. I'm just telling you, they're not going to do that easily. So you have to really be ready for the resistance, not the protest. The protest shit is dead. When y'all just whine at them in the comment section and all that shit, they don't give a fuck. That's not really affecting their pockets. You have to understand, every time a woman gets so pissed off at the bullshit she sees in the atheist space and she just leaves, they don't give a fuck because like 3 more dudes just entered the chat and sent like some dumbass super chat, so they didn't even notice that you're left. We've been talking about this for years, but basically these people don't care, right? The content creators and organizations don't give a fuck about the individuals. They just care about the numbers. So as long as the numbers move in the right direction, they don't really care about turnover. Turnover to them is just like an unfortunate consequence of like the fact that their business model is dependent on your engagement on YouTube, right? So since that's their business model, they just care about what the numbers you're doing. If women who were around here for like 5 or 10 years and like, you know, really help build all this up or whatever, are all of a sudden like, holy shit, this is unsafe, I'm out, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck because again, three fucking MAGA dudes just enter the chat with some trolley shit and they're like, oh cool, we got some new toys to play with, right? Or like 2 or 3 new secular deconverted girlies just showed up and they don't have a fucking clue about the history of this rotten ass space. Nobody's gonna clue them in either. So they're just sending new super chats, right? And so as soon as you and the girlies are like, yo, we're up out of here, they're just like seeing some new girlies and they don't give a fuck. Okay. So if y'all really gonna stay here, like you and the ones that are really trying to hold it down, like y'all have to get your shit together. Like you have to be so fucking for real and get your shit all the way together. You can't be playing no more. You can't be acting like this shit is cute. This shit is not cute and the shit is not going to get fixed by the men. You have to really start to dig in and do the motherfucking work your goddamn selves. I'm just here to fucking warn you. That's all I'm here for. You got to do the shit.
Unattended. Can't do that. We can't walk through a parking lot without scanning side to side. Keep our keys in between our fingers, right? To defend ourselves. We scan rooms the moment that we walk in. We text each other. Let me know when you get home. We know that we have to pretend we have a boyfriend, right? Or fake a phone call so that we're safe.
Think about that shit. How many women are going to be at NanoCon this year pretending they have boyfriends? How many women at NanoCon this year are going to see another woman go off with somebody and they think it's all good, but they're going to hit them with the text me when you get back, you know? Ladies, conference protocol from now on, anytime. I don't care if that man is her motherfucking husband. Bitch, text me when you get home. Text me when you get back to your room. Text me when you wake up in the morning. Text me, let me know you're ready to come to breakfast. Y'all got to be checking in with each other on the regular. I don't care if it's the husband. Do y'all hear what's going on? Do y'all hear what's going on? You hear what's going on with these husbands? And see, how many of your secular girlies just sold you out? Be so fucking for real right now. How many of your secular girlies just sold you out right the fuck now? You want me to make it real? Girls, I'm going to make this so real for you because I gotta remember, like, I'll never understand girl code, but I teach sex evolution and gender and all that shit in college, mostly to women. So I'm getting used to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep it so real with y'all, like I keep it so real with them. So I'll never understand from experience, but I'm trying to get better as an educator. So just fuck with me on this, y'all. Let's be so fucking around. I'm gonna put you in a situation so you understand how many of your secular girlies just fail you. How many of your secular girlies heard you and your man yelling at each other this morning in the hotel? I don't know what the fuck it was. It was some dumb shit, some stressful shit. He saw somebody that you were friends with through YouTube come up and give you a big hug and pay you some compliments about how good you was looking. It was really some platonic shit. They was literally just trying to be polite and compliment you because you did make some fucking fabulous fashion decisions. And so this was a man who wasn't even trying to hit on you. He just genuinely saw like, yo, shorty put it together today. Like, I love your outfit. Like, you look very lovely today. And you were like, thank you. And so later he's feeling some type of way. So he goes off and you're like, look, I'm really tired of you. You don't understand that like fashion means a lot to me. And like when people appreciate my fashion choices, like I just show them some appreciation for appreciating the shit that I be working hard on. You see what I'm saying? And it turned into a whole thing and he was yelling at you and da-da-da-da-da, right? Now later, y'all was in the lobby with everybody chilling and drinks or whatever. And everybody was chilling, trying to be social. But for some reason, y'all was back over in the corner. And y'all over in the corner, and everybody thought maybe they talking, doing a couple things or whatever. But we kind of wonder, like, why aren't they hanging out with the rest of us? Because we're trying to do a social thing, and, like, they be together all the time, and we only get together, like, once or twice a year. So, like, why the fuck are y'all children with the rest of us? And they start getting into it again. They start yelling and screaming. And then they're like, no, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. And then they walked away. And they just left, and they went back to their room. And what did your secular girlies see that night? Think about what happened to Nancy. What did your secular girlie see that night? Yeah, okay, they were arguing, but it didn't really seem like it went out of control. I mean, yeah, she left. They left together, but they left together. They left together and they were with each other when they left. They walked out together. It seemed like they both worked out consensually. Everything was fine. And they're married, right? Yeah, I didn't think to hit her with the text me when you get into the room or text me when you wake up. And I didn't think about it because she was with her husband. So did you not just hear this fucking story about what these husbands are doing? So be so fucking for real. How many of your secular girlies just heard the fucking CNN story about the motherfucking husbands fucking drugging and having their wives raped by strangers? Saw you at the motherfucking conference. They heard you get into a fight with this man earlier, saw you getting into a fight, saw y'all isolating yourselves, and then didn't even bother to fucking check up on you because you left with your husband. How many of your fucking secular girlies just failed you right now? Be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real right now. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So if y'all are going to be at these fucking conferences together, y'all have to be on that virtual leash type shit. Girl, where are you going? Text me when you get there. Oh, you're there. Okay, cool. Where are you going next? Text me when you get there. Are you good? How many drinks have you had? How are you feeling? What are you planning to do tonight? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get into it. I can't be fucking around. You can't be assuming none of these men that any of these women are. I don't care what the fuck. If it's the husband that you, if husbands are out, everybody else is out too by definition. Y'all have to be so fucking for real about this shit.
Reject carefully, leave carefully, exist carefully.
Exist
in
carefully.
ways that men never have to think about. Women,
And again, men don't ever have to think about it. You wonder why these men don't think about it. These men never have to think about it. You're waiting for them to sit around and start thinking about it. There's one man who sits around and thinks about these things. Yeah, this guy, the guy that has to teach this shit to fucking women students in college, duh. And what did they do to me? They made sure I got my ass all the way up here because I was talking way too much about safety and protocols and procedures and professional training. They were like, oh, he's got to fucking go. We got to try to get him fired. We got to make sure he can't even teach at universities anymore. Be so fucking for real about what these people are trying to do to you.
have been trained since birth that the world is a threat to their very existence. But home, we thought that home was the safe space. Home was supposed to be the place where you didn't have to scan, right? You weren't on guard. You could exhale. You were safe behind your locked door. Place where your body and your mind could stop being on guard all the time. The place where you could sleep in peace. And now women are realizing, as a result of this story, that women are being drugged, raped, filmed, exploited, discussed, and turned into content while they are unconscious. Realizing that even the last place that we thought was...
And ladies, can I tell you the fucked up shit about what she said? Think about what she just said compared to what Nancy's dealing with. Think about the Epstein files. How much content have you seen about the Epstein files? Right? How much content have you seen about the Epstein files? Be so fucking for real. Right? There's endless content. People have seen millions of files. Y'all think about that. People have seen millions of files. People have watched days worth of content over months and probably now years. Still no accountability. Only person in prison over this shit is a woman. Please somebody make this shit make sense. Somebody make this shit make sense right the fuck now. Be so fucking for real. The congressman that just retired, how much news coverage did that get? Right? It was everywhere, 24/7, around the clock, couldn't get away from it. Think about this shit about the motherless and the fucking men drugging and raping their wives. Shit is all over CNN, 100 million views, right? It's all over the fucking news. Every content creator's reacting to it, right? What's Nancy going through? She wrote a 10-page notarized letter to the atheist YouTube community, and no one will say shit about it. We are literally sitting here talking about how bad this is because there's no accountability, and there's all this coverage. All the coverage of the Epstein files, all the coverage of the, sleep rape scandal, whatever the fuck this is, all the coverage of the corrupt congressman, and still no fucking accountability. How much worse would it be if you wrote a 10-page notarized letter, literally addressed to the atheist YouTube community, saying, this is my last testament to y'all to please talk about. I'm writing this as I'm typing this right now, I'm writing this to you, the atheist YouTube community, saying, do something about this. And everybody's like, no, we can't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Somebody made Maya Atkinson, 10-minute video debunking notaries. I swear to y'all, the Bad Science Sunday channel, she made a 10-minute video debunking notary. Ladies, do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm saying to you, woman gets thrown down the stairs, strangled, sexually assaulted, writes a 10-page notarized letter. Nobody says shit about it. Everybody continues to platform and celebrate the dude who assaulted her. And secular girlies, other secular girlies, decide to make deconstruction videos about your notarized letter. They decide to go full counter apologetics, brain rot, debate mode about your notarized statement. Ladies, I need you to be so fucking for real about what you are up against.
Safe? That's no longer a safe space anymore.
That's no longer
the
a safe
shock.
space
That's
anymore.
the betrayal. Not just that strangers can hurt us when we're out in the world. Not just that men can harass us ruthlessly online and in person all day long. Not just that powerful men can exploit women and children.
We are all very sorry, Nancy. Doesn't get said enough. Thanks, PC.
And completely get away with it. But that some women are betrayed in the most intimate places imaginable, asleep in their own homes beside the men that they trusted. While women are trying to process that trauma, men are rushing in to correct our numerical statements. It's not.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be fucking crazy, y'all? Be so fucking for real right now. Wouldn't it be crazy if AJ decided that she really needed the whole community to really start by responding to your notarized letter by correcting the date? Be so fucking for real. The link is in the description. Be so fucking for real right now. I'm showing it to you. She says, on the night of July 5th, 2025, during NanoCon 25, a horrifying incident took place within the concrete back stairwell of the lodge at Montgomery Bell in Burns, Tennessee. AJ says, this is incorrect. July 25th, 2025 was a Friday. She alleged incident took place on Saturday night, July 26th, and into the early hours of Sunday, July 27th, 2025. What did she just say?
Imaginable. Asleep in their own homes beside the men that they trusted. While women are trying to process that trauma, men are rushing in.
People are rushing in.
Our
men in their pick-me's.
Numerical statements. It's not
to correct your numerical statements. Do you not, ladies, I need you to be so fucking for real about what is happening here. Are y'all catching the shit? PC told me I gotta break shit all the way down for y'all. So I'm trying a new thing. I'm trying to educate out here. I'm trying to break shit all the way down. I need y'all to be so fucking for real about what's going on.
62 million men. You know how that feels to women to watch the men flooding in, not angry at the discovery of this grape academy, but at the fact that they feel that women are misquoting the number of people. Women are reacting.
Women are misquoting the number. Men in the atheist community is saying she got the date wrong. There was video evidence that proves she lied. Wait a second. We're just asking if there's video evidence that exists at all. Wait, I thought you said there was video proof that he was completely exonerated and that she lied. But now you're asking if video evidence exists. And then that person gets to come up off of it. That person gets to come up. Be so fucking for real. If a crime gets covered up and people get a come up off of it, y'all don't think that suggests that there was an organized effort to make sure people don't talk about that crime. Listen, all I can do is make this content. You have to be so fucking for real about what is going on.
To the fact that they can do absolutely everything right and still not be safe in their home. The real question that's not being asked, who gives a fuck how many men it was? The question is, why is this content at all? Why are...
The question is, did she get pushed down the stairs? Was she sexually assaulted? Was she strangled? Well, did you know you shouldn't be listening to them because Sumami is a transphobe? Wait till you find out they deflected by calling Sumami a transphobe for doing something inclusive. Wait till you find out.
Men searching for this? Why are men watching this? Why are they sharing this kind of stuff?
Why are people watching this? Why are people sharing this stuff? Why is everybody just watching this happen? Almost like it's good entertainment to them. Almost like they don't feel compelled for this community. Hang on, sidebar. I get real as fuck when I'm talking to the ladies because I know men don't really pay attention to real shit. They're just here for fucking spectacle. What I do appreciate about the women in the audience is they tend to be more here for the substance. Y'all have to be so for real about how unsafe all of this is. Like it's hard to put in words. It really is hard to put in words. But I need y'all to understand that this woman wrote a 10-page notarized letter, and they still won't talk about it. Nancy, we're sorry. If you'd asked me back in December, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all so for real. When you first come into any situation, you get a snapshot. My snapshot came in December when I finally decided to just reach out to Patty. I felt nervous. I didn't understand what the right approach was to asking about something like this. No handbook on it, right? But again, the women around me who are survivors were concerned, and they wanted to, offer support for Nancy. So that was the end. Like, oh, these women, these survivors want to offer support to Nancy. So like, that's a good reason for me to reach out to Patty to, offer that on their behalf. But Patty just opened up and was like, this is what happened, and told me the whole thing. Y'all, she wrote a notarized letter that says she was pushed down the stairs, sexually assaulted, and strangled. And they're trying to get me fired for talking to you about it. You have to be so for real about how unsafe you really are. Sorry, it's
other people and profiting from the exploitation of the women that they supposedly love. This isn't just anger, it's grief. Realization.
And that's the other thing you need to realize is that people are profiting off of this. her story wasn't just covered up for no reason. It was covered up because it is inconvenient to people who needed her story to not implicate them in any way. So you need to start to figure out who needed her story to not be told. Who needed her story to not be believed? Who benefited from her going away quietly? Who benefited from her not pursuing things? Who benefited from her forgiving him?
That we have been told since birth that it is our job to protect ourselves at all times, and that even when we do absolutely everything right, we can still fall victim to these kinds of crimes. That is why we feel like we want to just scream into a well, okay? We are told at every stage of our life, protect yourself from male attention, because if you draw male attention, something happens to you, then it's going to be your fault, right? Where were you? Were you drinking? Did you know him? Did your friends know where you were?
Were you all over him in the lobby? Were you making out with him before people saw you walk off together? Did you let him sit down next to you the morning after and put his arm around you? Did you tell people immediately after you didn't want to press charges? Did you tell people it was okay to still platform him? Did you tell people it was okay to spend time with him? Did you know she didn't want to press charges until after her husband found out?
What were you wear? All of that. Like, male attention is something that we're responsible for managing. I mean, the litany of things that are all floated onto women from men, right? If you were harassed, well, did you send mixed signals? If you were assaulted, were you drinking? If you're stalked, well, were you friendly to him? Overly friendly? If you reject him, why weren't you nicer? If you give him a chance, why didn't you know better? If you...
Sidebar. Wrong button, sidebar. When the story got out that he threw her down the stairs, strangled her, and sexually assaulted her, people asked if he had malicious intent. But do you really think he meant to hurt you? I was just glad to see them leave together because we were worried she was taking advantage of him. Be so fucking for real, ladies.
You stay, why didn't you leave? If you leave, why'd you provoke him? If we survive, why didn't you report it? If we report it later, why did you wait? If you cry, why are you so emotional? And then add to all of that you've now taken away our right to even control our own lives. Because if we are the victims of a you know what, and then you become pregnant, you no longer have the right to terminate the situation that would remind you for a lifetime of this violent essay. We have to have laws on the books that tell men how old a girl is allowed to be before you're allowed to go and have your way with her. Think about that, because we're not just talking about violence. We're talking about a culture of ownership. Women are told your body is distracting to men. Your truth is questionable when men violate your body. And now your body is political if the state wants to control it. What women are reacting to right now,
All right,
after
10.
all of these assaults, daily, our entire lives, that we are now being told an even darker story. That your body, your peace, does not even belong to you when you are asleep in your own home next to the man that supposedly loves you.
Okay, for those that are not trying to pay attention, we connect what is going on in the wider world around you to the things that are going on in this community. Wouldn't it be crazy if we were trying to warn everybody that the patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy up in this bitch was going to be the downfall of this entire thing for years? But fret not. I'm just reminding you, we're not new to this around here. We're true to this around here. We've been trying to tell motherfuckers forever this shit is not safe. And now you need to make the connection that the same reason we've had to always call these guys out for hanging around with their Nazi little buddies, for not being willing to focus on or center issues around marginalized people, for not talking about the capitalism, the patriarchy, and the white supremacy, for constantly platforming problematic people. The list goes on, right? For all the transphobia we've had to fucking actually fight off. And then, of course, when we call out their bullshit, they call us transphobes. Wait till you find out they call Tsunami a transphobe for doing something inclusive. Wait till you figure out they called us transphobes, even though I make more content. I make more content on this channel advocating for trans people than trans people do. Anyway, the point is, the same way that what's going on in the world is women realizing they are not safe at home, women in the atheist YouTube community are realizing their new secular home, their new secular safe space, their new secular community, their new secular thing, what they was doing with the other secular girlies. We was having a good time with the other secular girlies. Where the party at? Secular girlies on the way, where the Bacardi at? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, bottles and bottles smoking, all of that. Yeah, you can't be doing bottles and bottles smoking, all of that, because women are getting thrown down the fucking stairs. You go to fucking Nano CON and you're like, bottles and bottles smoking, all of that. I'm gonna be like, that's a fucking bad idea. I'm like, that's a bad idea. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, girls, you gotta be on constant vigilance. So now, and you know they're not gonna not drink. Come on, you think all the white boys are gonna get together and they're not gonna? Come on, you know they're gonna be getting fucked up, so they could do some fucked up shit. So what? Then you gonna get fucked? Come on now. Come on now. Come on, we gotta make better decisions. So y'all gonna have to be on constant vigil. Like I said, on that virtual leash, checking in and out. Where you going? Where you going next? Where you going after that? Group chat. Got to put it in a group chat. Everybody got to put it in the same group chat. Don't even be doing the one-on-one shit, because the one-on-one shit, you could fall asleep, you could take a nap, you could miss your fucking shift. You need to put that shit in a group chat where all of y'all, where everybody's checking in with everybody at all times. That way, somebody else can notice. You know what I'm saying? You might doze off, but somebody else was up at night like, oh shit, so-and-so ain't checked in yet. Girl, where you at? What's going on? What's going on? We saw you leave with him, but you ain't say nothing. Oh, you just fell asleep. Oh, okay, that's cool. We just checking. No, we ain't playing around. Y'all have to be so motherfucking for real. Here's the other thing, girls, that I need you to understand and listen to this, because this is going to be the realest shit. This is going to be the realest shit you've ever heard from a black man in your life. I promise you, this will be the realest shit you ever heard from a black man. And ladies, if you're going to stay involved in this fucked up ass YouTube atheist space, I need you to hear me out very carefully. Pay attention, ladies. Call the motherfucking cops every time. Every time some stupid shit happens, some shit pops off, some dumb shit happens, somebody does some sideways shit, call the motherfucking cops. You pick up the phone, you hit it with the 9 to the 1 to the 1, early and motherfucking often. We snitching over here. We snitching over here. I'm telling you, when you get yourself a little education, get yourself a little positive, productive role in society. You know, start trying to be a good role model and all that good shit. You gotta do all the good citizenry practices. You can't be fucking around on that code of the streets bullshit when people getting thrown down the stairs strangled. You can't be on that. You can't be trying to handle that on some, oh, we just going, you know what I'm saying, we just gonna get together, huddle up and figure out no. Call the fucking cops. I'm trying to tell you so sincerely. What up, Hillwood? We appreciate you. Yeah, definitely appreciate you, Hillwood. We appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's effort helping out. But girlies, I'm trying to tell you, so for real, as soon as you even hear about some fuck, don't wait, don't confirm, don't start asking around, don't start asking. What you gonna do? What you think to ask the organizers? Did you think to speak to the manager? You don't speak to the manager when you hear about crimes. When you hear about crimes, you call the police. That's the new code. Okay, understand this shit. When you hear about crimes, you call the police. Look, fuck all that hip hop shit. Fuck all that gangster movie bullshit. When real gangster shit is going on, when real hood shit is happening, when real hard shit, when real lives is in the balance and all that shit. No, that ain't the time to be heroic. That's the time to call the goddamn people whose professional fucking paychecks depend on being heroic. Nigga, you get up in here and take care of this violent ass motherfucker. What the fuck do you think this is, nigga? You need to get here 9 to the one, early and often. And let motherfuckers know throughout the time at the conference. Just, you know what I'm saying? Listen, let me teach you a real intervention strategy, ladies. This is some real shit. I'm kind of improvising on my professional training, but you'll see how it's related to professional training. In the professional training, we use different tactics to intervene in unsafe situations, right? One of them is a distraction, okay? So one of the safe distractions that you could kind of provide to fucking throw people off is to just be casually talking about calling the police all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of just casually drop it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just kind of be walking around and be like, damn, I haven't really seen any cops since I've been here in Tennessee. Yo, are we in a state park? Whose jurisdiction is this? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Maybe just in conversation, just start dropping subtle cues that make people think that you're into legal shit. Like you're just the type of person who's just kind of into law shit. So you be, you know, you just sitting at a bar, you're having a drink, y'all, you know, snacking on some peanuts or whatever. And you're just like, you ever watch Law and Order? Yeah, I was really into that. I used to watch that SVU a lot. You know what I mean? About how the sex crimes, you know what I mean? And when there were sex crimes, all the fucking work you got to do to make sure that the sex crimes get, you know what I'm saying? Just start dropping fucking hints, you know what I'm saying? Just to like plant the seed in their minds that if some shit popped off, you know what I'm saying? There's just gonna be people that's just gonna be looking for that phone call. Ladies, especially my ladies with the little fairer complexion. You know what I'm talking about? My girlies with the complexion for the protection. My girlies with the complexion for the protection. One of the best things you have going for you is people think you are looking to Karen it up. You know what I mean? They think you want to. They're afraid you're going to weaponize your spirit of Karen in the morning. Let me tell you, when some unsafe shit pops off, this is the time. This is the time to shine. This is the time to shine. This is the time to bring that full Karen energy. But you're not calling the manager. You're calling the police. You have calling the manager energy, but you don't call the people who run this whole unsafe plantation of fucked upness. You call the 9 to the 1, but with that same, I need to speak to the manager, but the manager needs to fucking send like a whole, yeah. And that's when you amp up the Karen shit, right? Because see, normally the Karen shit is you call the manager and you're like, well, he did the thing that I don't like, and well, you should fire him. You should like, it's like you escalating all the time over some shit when it's totally not necessary. Okay. No, but when you call the 9 to the 1, you channel that inner Karen and you escalate that shit as much as you can. Yeah, we just heard a woman was thrown down the stairs, sexually assaulted and strangled. Yeah. Oh, you said the police will be on their way. Yeah, but nobody knows where he is or what happened and if he's armed or not. So maybe y'all could send a SWAT team. Yeah, and you know, we don't know if anybody's been hard enough, so maybe throw in a few ambulances in there. But what if something serious happened and she needs to be medevac because she did fall down the stairs? So maybe some helicopters. Yeah, does anybody have, I don't know, you got some of the, I don't know, I don't know, but you know what? I don't even know if he's here anymore. He may have left. So could you guys set up maybe some roadblocks, you think? And could you send over a forensic team? I mean, who knows, right? I mean, right? You know what I'm saying? Karen, this is your moment. Baby, everything's on the menu. Baby, everything's on the menu. You understand? Remind them, everything's on the menu, baby. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is your time to shine. This is time to take, everybody has a time to shine. When some unsafe shit happens, Karens, my secular girl is with the complexion for the protection. You step to the front and y'all get together and y'all all start doing it. Not just one person. Everybody start doing that shit. Again, imagine if I did it. That's all you got to do. Imagine if I did it. Yes, I told you to go there. Imagine if I did it. Imagine if you heard a black man threw a white woman down the stairs, sexually assaulted her and strangled her in an atheist conference. See? I just said that shit hypothetically, and in the 3 seconds it took to get that shit out of my mouth, 1,900 conference attendees. I only thought there were 1,700 people in this place, but somehow 1,900 people just called the police in 7 seconds. As soon as you said a black man threw a white woman down the stairs, sexually assaulted her and strangled her, a conference of 1,700 people somehow placed over 1,900 phone calls in 30 seconds flat. How did that shit magically happen like that? So that's what I'm telling you. When something dangerous happens, you pretend I did that shit. You channel that Karenicity, and you take that shit to the max off rip every single time. Every single time. I'm just trying to keep it so for real right now.
And this tells us that our safety is conditional. Our trust is dangerous. Men talk about this male loneliness epidemic, okay? It's not because women have access to better careers or they choose their animals or they're choosing not to have children. They're opting out because they are exhausted. Not because we have unreasonable standards, not because we hate men. Because women are exhausted from being asked to empathize with male pain, while men refuse to empathize with female fear of men. So while you men are in your fifis about, it's not all men, it's not 62 million men, ask yourself, when are women allowed, when are our emotions, our feelings justified? Perhaps the question shouldn't be, why are women so afraid of men? The question should be, what can men do to make women feel more comfortable with men?
Mm-hmm. And I'm just telling you right now, whatever the answer is, men are not going to do that shit. So this is what I'm saying, girlies. That's why we're here. Y'all have to get together and raise hell. Now, my personal recommendation, again, if you're going to stay in the community, I highly recommend just leaving. Come over here where it's safe and hurl speculation from a safe distance. But if you're going to continue to participate in proximity to these unsafe institutions, I'm going to tell you like I tell my students. I really am. I tell my students this all the time. Society is made of interlocking structures. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Patriarchy, capitalism, white supremacy, families, nation states, the policies, the blases and the glaven, the education, the law, legals, right? It's all just system on top of a system on top of a system. And when you take all the systems and you interlock all the systems, you get a society. Whether that's modern America, hunter-gatherer society, whatever the society it is, ain't nothing but a cheap thing, baby. Bunch of interlocking systems. Now, what do you do when the systems that all the people have to live under don't work for the people? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you fix the system? I don't tell my students to do that. Do you repair it? Do you restore the system? I don't tell them. Do you reform the system? I don't tell my students to reform the system. I would never. That'd be lying to them. I don't do that. Unethical as a teacher of a lot of your students. I say you burn that shit to the ground and build us something better. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell them. And then I tell them it's not impossible. It's not even unprecedented. It's actually what marginalized people have always had to do. Because there's always been people the system wasn't structured for. There's always been people the system wasn't built for. And those people have always had to exist too and get by. Now, their stories don't always get told and their accomplishments don't always get celebrated. They don't always get the spotlight they deserve, but they have always had to build their own structures to meet the needs that the structures that excluded them would not meet for them. That's why when I tell y'all to take down the patriarchy, the capitalism, and the white supremacy, and start centering marginalized voices and people, y'all tell me I'm being woke, making everything about race, and being too political. Or I'm an evolutionary biologist who thinks about how evolutionary theory, meaning the fucking environment, you dipshit, controls what's possible in society. And I'm also an anthropology professor who teaches cultural anthropology, and a sociology professor. So maybe I'm talking about society as interlocking structures because that's how it fucking works. And if you need the expertise of how to build new structures from within the current structures, you should go to the people who have always had to do that, not rely on your own expertise because people like you have never had to do that. Yeah, that's how that works. That's what happens when you assume that people that look like you are always smarter than people that look like me. You don't listen to the things people like me are trying to teach you. But I'm glad you're listening today. So please understand, we're about to get into our next feature. And that ain't even the main event. But let's talk about where we're at right now in today's broadcast, because we want to make sure we connect these dots. We're dealing with the realization at a societal level and within this community that for many, 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 many women, they are not safe in the very last place they believe they could be safe in. And it's a different kind of problem because usually when you find yourself in an unsafe place or an unsafe space, you vacate it to go to a different space, which is safe. But a girl has got to sleep and eat and shit and take a shower at some point. Go to the gym. Maybe have a jobby, play a couple billies. Yeah, you're going to have to exist somewhere at some point. So eventually you run out of options of places and spaces to go. Eventually, again, you got to eat somewhere, got to work somewhere, got to sleep somewhere, got to shower somewhere. And so you do as best as you can to get away from all the unsafe spaces, but eventually you get down to those last spaces. That one safe place you can let your hair down while you take a shower. That one safe place you can get a good night's sleep. That one safe place you can meet up with the secular girlies, have a couple of drinks, call it a weekend. And they're realizing ain't no motherfucking thing as a last safe space. It's just unsafe all the way down. Even over here on the secular humanist side. Now, we've been trying to tell y'all this for a very long time. It's quite unfortunate, the occasion that has brought many to this realization. Now that you've come to it, I'm going to tell you something else we've learned over the years. suggest you do as I say, not as I do. Learn from my mistakes. Don't repeat my mistakes. We've been fighting to make this a space that would center marginalized voices, that would focus on safety, that would value real world expertise, that would talk about the things that actually matter to people, materials, lives. And we have been ostracized, tormented, harassed, and fucking treated like the worst humans on the surface of the planet every single time. And so y'all be like, how could they be dealing with this NanoCon incident and be friends with Patty and say they were friends with Nancy and they be jamming the music and dancing as they talking about all this fucked up shit at NanoCon? It's because we found joy in the work. And one of the small victories that we've had along the way is rallying around each other and deciding, that we've seen enough. What happened to Nancy is all the way the deal breaker for us. We all got together and said, y'all want to sign these divorce papers together? And they were like, yesterday. And we all signed them and dipped. Remember what I told you earlier? We dipped off. We just chilling off the highway. We just saw y'all. We was just riding off to our next destination. We moving on to different things after all this shit. But we was just riding off to our next destination. Looked over, saw y'all getting ready for the next NanoCon. Stopped over at the fucking scenic overlook to have a couple drinks, get high, and watch y'all dumbasses. And just tell you, it's not safe over there. We tried to tell you. Watch these dumbasses, they about to go anyway. That's all we doing. So we chilling because it's safe over here. So we find joy in the work because we're all safe now. We were like, yo, let's get up out of here. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about it because I know PC ain't going to be at the next NanoCon. I know Patty ain't going to be at the next NanoCon. I know Nancy ain't going to be at the next NanoCon. Y'all better run if Kyle's at the next NanoCon. If Sumami's at the next NanoCon, there won't be a next NanoCon. As soon as she walk up in there, they be like, nope, shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. I don't know what's about to happen, but we're out. Nah, for real, my friends wouldn't be caught dead there. Nah, not gonna happen. Right? So one of the small victories was we got ourselves up out of there. So now I know my friends are safe and chilling. So we're good. So now we're just taking joy and trying to help other people be safe, knowing that we at least made sure each other is safe. You see what I'm saying? So now we're feeling good because we're just trying to help out other people. But y'all have to be so fucking for real. So look, we got one more feature. We're gonna do the next feature, and then I'm gonna show you the main event. So let's lay out step number one, because we're about to do step number two. Step number one is we are not safe in our last safe space. That's what this atheist whole thing is about. That's why so many of the secular girlies are having a hard time right now. Hang in there with them. This is difficult. For real, this is very difficult. I know that. You're like really dealing with Epstein and all the fucking motherless thing and all this unsafe shit everywhere in the war and the economy's fucked up. Like I get that. You see what I'm saying? And now you're realizing this whole atheist secular thing. Yeah, that shit unsafe as fuck too. I get it. That shit is rough. You feel me? Okay, so that's step one. Our last safe space, not safe. Not safe at all. All right, here's step number two. Step number two is not Uncle Bobby. That would be a good step number two, but tonight is ladies' night. Let's go.
People love that phrase. You know the one, those who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it. You hear it on graduation stages and yearbook quotes. Every time something terrible happens and somebody wants to sound wise about it. But that phrase is a lie, because the more time you sit with it, the clearer it gets, because it lets a lot of people off the hook who just shouldn't be. The quote comes from a philosopher named George Santayana. He wrote it in 1905, and here's the thing. He didn't even say it. At least, not like that, anyway. What he actually wrote was, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. That's a very different sentence than the one that we passed around. Remember is not the same as learn. Condemned is not the same as doomed. The original quote was about memory, but what we turned it into was a lecture on personal responsibility. Somewhere along the way, it got flattened. It got flattened into a line you can put on a coffee mug. And the coffee mug version says if you study enough, if you read enough, watch enough documentaries, you're going to be protected from the past.
There's a thing in the good old world of being a dating coach that I came up in. Ooh, that's a story for another day. You should always ask me, how did you become an evolutionary biologist? Like, boy, you got time for a story. But for real, there's this thing called analysis paralysis. And one of the things that I think it happens in social situations, right? When you're trying to meet somebody or you're in a new social situation and you're trying to figure out what to do and you spend so much time thinking about trying to figure out what to do, you don't do anything. And then the moment is passed, right? Or you're in a much more awkward situation than you would have been if you'd have just done almost anything, right? Or nothing. People always ask me, what do I say to people? I'll tell you, my favorite opener is, hi, my name is Jay. It's nice to meet you. See? Easy. I'll never have to think about it. I'll never have to remember it. If I say, hi, my name is Jay. Nice to meet you. And you're like, somebody gives me the look. You know the look? They look you up and down and they just dip. Not going to happen. If I say, hi, my name is Jay. Nice to meet you. I go, oh, hi, Jay. Nice to meet you. Boom. We can take it from there. Easy. Easy peasy. What's not a good idea is to sit here and just start weighing all the cons, right? Where is this going? This is why these people don't say nothing. It's why when you really need your sisters, it feels like so many women around you fail you. It's not always because of their nefarious, malicious intent. A lot of times it's just because they can't figure out what to do and they're so afraid of making a mistake that they spend more time analyzing all the pitfalls of any particular course of action. And in the end, when you really need them, they do nothing. Right? I always say I'd rather have 5 friends who will do something if something fucked up happens to me, even if very imperfectly, than a million fucking followers who will do not a goddamn thing. See what I'm saying? If you don't believe me, look at what's happening with Nancy. Patty carried the shit for like most of a year by herself. She didn't really get any help in December. It kind of really just took 1 or 2 girlies, maybe really Kyle and Sumami, to be like, y'all, we got to deal with this. This shit ain't right. I was just a little connect. Oh, hey, Patty, the ladies wanted to offer you some support. Boom. Patty tells me what happened. All right, I say, let's all get together. We get PC in on it. They decide we got to let the community know. We go live and let y'all know. That's how just 1 or 2 supportive voices becomes 3 or 4 supportive voices. Now 5 people together, right, can start to do something. We start doing different things. Now we all got different approaches, different grits, different strengths, different weaknesses. We don't always get along. One thing I can tell you that's brought out the best in us all of this is we all care about this. So if we don't agree on how to go about something, we're going to talk about it. None of us is afraid to call anybody else out. That's why that shit pisses people off when y'all say that we're a cult, because you're taking away the autonomy of people who are doing exactly what they want to do. But despite all that, we just stay at their head, neck, and shoulders, just the 5 of us. And now what happened? We're getting momentum in the community. Did they make it easy for us? No, they fucked us all the way up. What happened? They overplayed their hand. They fucked us all the way up. You know who they didn't think was paying attention? Nancy. You know who was paying attention? Nancy. You know who they thought would never come back? Nancy. You know who didn't need to come back? Nancy. She said, Patty, hold my beer for a second. Here's a 10-page statement. Let's get it notarized. And poof. Now the whole thing's blown all the way open. Because just a handful of people decided they were going to do something, even if imperfectly. While hundreds and now thousands of people have found out about it But since they couldn't figure out exactly what the perfect thing to do was, they've done nothing. See what I'm talking about?
You're not going to repeat the same mistakes. You're going to be one of the smart ones. It is a comforting idea, right? It makes responsibility personal, which feels solvable, but that is just not true. The people who repeat history are not the ones who forget it. They're the ones who studied it and liked how it ended.
Woo! This is the lesson of the evening. When I tell y'all, I did 4 streams earlier and saved my best shit for last. I am telling you, I did 4 streams today and saved my best shit for last. You need to all the way hear this again.
They are not the ones who forget it, but right? It makes responsibility personal, which feels solvable, but that is just not true.
Woo! Yahweh, Yahweh. I want to call out your name, Yahweh. And Jesus Christ, and Allah and Muhammad and all of them. I don't believe none of y'all exist. But I'm so serious about this, I'm going to pray to all the gods that I do not believe in, that these people listen to what this woman is about to say, and that they get so fucking for real about how unsafe the whole YouTube atheist shit is, and that they get so fucking for real about what she's about to say. Amen, hallelujah. Amen, hallelujah. I'm going to throw my hands up in the sky and everything. I'm going to do the cross, all that good shit.
The people who repeat history are not the ones who forget it. They're the ones who studied it and liked how it ended. History are not the ones who forget it. They're the ones who studied it and liked how it ended.
The people who repeat history are not the ones who forget it. It's the ones who studied it and liked how it ended. So the question in this whole NanoCon situation has been moved way beyond who did what to who. We have a 10-page notarized letter that tells us who did what to who. Elliot Martin allegedly threw Nancy from the Apostate Sisters down the stairs, sexually assaulted her, and strangled her. That's who did what to who. The question everybody needs to be asking about the cover up and the hush hush and all the coercive effort that nobody was allowed to talk about and all of that good shit is, who are the people who enjoyed that ending? Who are the people who that is exactly how they wanted it to go down? It's time to stop asking what happened. We all see the cover up. We all know it's been almost a year and ain't nobody said shit. The silence is deafening. The crickets is all the way up in this shit. The crickets done evolved into the motherfucking Beatles, fucking smash tours in London, come over to America, gone overseas. They done grown up into the Grasshoppers and the fucking Beach Boys and all of that shit. We done watched fucking millennia of evolution in dead silence up in this bitch for almost a fucking year. Meanwhile, the fucking sister of the victim's been running around trying to get everybody to just say something. So you already see evidence of the coercive cooperation to manufacture social pressure to keep people quiet. So the question is, who wrote that ending? PC said there was an important job to be done and everybody was sure that somebody else would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody couldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. Well, we know PC's been paying attention.
The architects of modern voter suppression, right? They're not confused about Jim Crow.
The architects of suppression are not confused. I wonder who the architects of suppressing Nano CON are. I wonder what their names are and if they'd be willing to be my star. I wanna say her name, remix when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You've been running game. Say her name, You acting kinda shady. Ain't acting like a lady. You better say her name.
Say my name.
If only she was
You
playing in your
goddamn
face.
right. You know exactly who I am.
If only she's been playing
You
in
guys
your
know what show that's
face
from.
the whole
Anyways,
time.
I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
Could it be SR through down the stairs, another lady? Cause if you took it there, first of all, let me say, I am not the one to sit around and be played. Say her name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You better say my name. Say my name. You acting kinda shady. Ain't acting like a lady. Better say her name. Y'all better be lucky I play drums. Cause I'm a whole ass performer. You don't understand me. I don't know. It's almost like I grew up on stages or something. Y'all just don't know.
They read about it. They noticed it worked. The people writing about abortion laws right now, they're pulling from an 1873 statute called the Comstock Act. That's not a coincidence. That is research. The people running the current prison system, they understood exactly what the 13th Amendment allowed. Slavery as punishment for a crime. They didn't stumble into that loophole. They went looking for it. So when people say those who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it, what they're actually describing is the victims. Yeah, not the people doing the repeating. So here's the part that really matters.
They're actually talking about the victims. It's the victims who are doomed. And she's about to tell us why it isn't even the right language. And that they're not the repeaters. The repeaters are the people who knew exactly how it would go. And that is how they wanted it to go down. So step one is your safe space. Your last safe space is not safe. Step two is it's unsafe because someone wanted it to play out that way. So now the question is, who wanted it to play out that way. And I hate to do something so YouTuber as to plug my channel in the middle of all this, but stay tuned. This isn't the last character we'll be profiling. You might want to hit the little like and the sub and the noti and all that things. There will be more.
The people who most needed to know the history were the ones most aggressively kept from it. Enslaved people in this country were legally banned from learning how to read. Indigenous children were beaten in government boarding schools, all for speaking their own language. In Tulsa, what happened in 1921 was for the next 80 years either excluded from textbooks or reduced to a footnote. Mexican American kids in the 1950s, they were punished for speaking Spanish in class. And now we want to turn around and say the problem is that the people didn't study hard enough? That's not a gap in education. That's a policy. Someone made it. For speaking Spanish in class. And now we want to turn around and say the problem is that the people didn't study hard enough? That's not a gap in education. That's a policy. Someone made it.
The problem isn't that you don't have enough information. The problem is that there was a policy that you must not have the information. Who made that policy? To be clear, I don't know who made that policy. But I know someone who seems to have been executing the marching orders of whoever the fuck did.
And someone is benefiting from it.
And someone's, because it's probably multiple people, maybe even multiple interconnected organizations. I kind of love that wind effect I can create in my microphone. That's literally like my breath getting trapped in the microphone. Yeah. Time to start trying to figure out who the fuck benefited from all of this.
So the better question is not whether you learned history or not. It's who taught you the version that you know.
Who was trying to teach you the version that you know?
What did they leave out? Who did they make the hero?
What did they leave out? Who did they make the hero? Or better yet, who did they make the villain? Or villains? Or heroes? And who benefited from the version of the story you knew? And whose policy was it that you must get that version? Boy, did I not tell? I told you I saved my best for last. Now see, you're figuring out what the long timers, the OGs have already known. I don't make false promises on this channel. Not because I couldn't do that. I'm not a perfect person. Shit happens. But that's just not what I'm into. I'm in the under promise and over deliver like a motherfucker. This is how I fucking get down. God damn. Let me YouTube my way. We like exposing frauds over here. We think that's just kind of fun. Especially when the motherfuckers think they're smarter than us. And that they can intimidate us into silence. Oh no, that's when we have to go upside people's heads. PC, would you tell these people? See, PC, they say we so ugly over here. They don't know we've been in charming mode this whole time. Do you know? Don't y'all know? Let me tell you, PC, please tell these people if I'm fucking lying. PC, please tell these people if I'm fucking lying. If this shit was up to me, PC, Sumami, and Kyle, oh my God. Oh my God. All of YouTube probably would. YouTube, the fucking YouTube platform would be over. The YouTube platform would just be over. We would have burnt this shit down to the ground so motherfucking hard. We'd have been calling everybody out. We'd have cursed everybody motherfucking out. We'd have been boycotted, canceled, shut down, everything. We'd have been exposing everybody's ass every motherfucking day. Oh my God. The YouTube would have just been like, no, this platform can't even exist. Like what they just did to those people. They'll be calling it like the atheist apocalypse. They'll be like, no, we can't even. We just have to delete YouTube. We just have to delete the entire platform because what they just did to those people. Wow. So if y'all want to keep it real, we've been kind of on our best behavior. Yeah. Because this happened to Nancy from the Apostate Sisters. So that means like the number one person who really has the most proximity is Patty. So we were like, fuck. Oh my God. We were sitting there. We were like, Patty, you don't know how long we've been waiting to destroy this whole fucking thing. And then we were like, yo, but this shit happened to Nancy. And we're like, yeah, we know. And Patty's her sister. And we were like, oh, you're right. We gotta try to be on our best behavior for Patty. Fuck. PC, tell these fools we've been on our best goddamn behavior. Y'all have no fucking idea how much we despise you. Oh, and now that this shit is getting out and it's beyond us and I could really lean into it. Oh, I feel weightless. Oh, you have no idea how nasty we can really get over here. Oh, you think your friends don't like me now? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all so motherfucking lucky we've been trying to carry this for Patty.
Who did they make invisible? History doesn't erase itself over time. It gets edited by people on purpose. The textbooks in your 8th grade classroom had an author. The author had a publisher. That publisher had a board. And that board had politics. And by the time that book got to you, it had been through so many filters.
The boards, right? Remember? I had to call and talk to the board about why I couldn't bring up Nancy, right? Doesn't it sound like if you say, why can't I talk about this in this community? And they say, you have to talk to the board. Does that ever make you guys realize the fucking patriarchy, capitalism is white supremacy shit has gotten out of hand? When a black college professor is like, hey, I'd like to talk about this alleged assault that happened at one of these atheist events. And they're like, Jay, we're not going to do that. Why can't we do that? Well, you're going to have to talk to the board about that. Hi, Skeptic Haven. Girlie, you got to be so fucking for real about what you're up against. All right, now let's not forget
that what you
Hang on,
ended
hang
up
on, hang
reading
on,
wasn't
hang on.
actually history.
Let's not forget that over here, 2 days ago, on the NanoCon channel, they had the queen of the Flying Monkey campaign, the person spreading around the 17-page, don't believe Nancy document. The lady spreading around the don't believe Nancy document. Remember the sisters? Remember the sisters that's not going to really be fucking with y'all? Remember the sisters that's not really, remember when I told you your secular girlie just failed you? Yeah, this is that secular girlie. That secular girlie literally is spreading around a 17-page document, then sitting down with the internal investigator who said he's going to hire one of the homies. Listen to the broadcast. He's going to hire somebody else, going to hire one of the homies to avoid the appearance of a conflict of interest because he's going to be on the board. There's that magic word, board again. Almost like they took that capitalist patriarchy, white supremacy shit and they did what white boys do, which is they did what? They built structures. Those structures gave them access to what? Status, prestige, resources, opportunity, elevation. And then it's almost as though when this happened, somebody decided that there were certain structures that needed to be protected more than Nancy needed to be protected. Now, they'll tell you that that's not what happened, but who is telling you that that's not what happened? Because they'll tell you that the people who are trying to speak up for Nancy are not speaking for Nancy. So then you're going to have to read Nancy's statement linked in the description and decide if the people speaking up for Nancy are telling you what's consistent with Nancy's letter, or is the people who claim to speak for Nancy actually the people who are spreading around 17-page documents about why not to believe Nancy, while sitting down with the internal investigator, not the external supervision I spoke about at real professional conferences, but the internal guy who's going to be on the board this year. And then again, wouldn't it be crazy if she's been playing in your face about it the whole time?
Say my name. You're goddamn right. You know exactly who I am. You guys know what show that's from. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
Could it be SR? Threw down the stairs, another lady. Her name was Nancy. Because if you took it there, first of all, let me say, I am not the one to sit around and be played. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running games. Say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running games. Say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running games. Say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name. 'Cause say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running game. Say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name. 'Cause say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running game. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running game. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running game. Say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You been running game. Say my name.
victory. It was somebody's version of it handed to you as the whole story. So we got to stop saying that phrase. Those who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it. That's not the real problem. The real problem is the people that are repeating history right now are not confused by it. They know exactly what they're doing. They studied it. They picked up the playbook. They're running it again because it worked the first time. The rest of us are finding out in real time what our teachers either didn't know or didn't tell us. And we're supposed to catch up while the damage is already done. That's not a failure of memory. That's the cost of curriculum. A curriculum that someone else wrote for us.
A curriculum. A curriculum. Think about the emphasis there. Y'all know I'm a teacher. What is the curriculum? The curriculum is the motherfucking content of the goddamn course. The curriculum is what the fuck the people educating you want you to learn. Pay attention to this young lady. Her name's Bre. She has a channel called Hive Sci. She does things better than talk about fucking atheism all day. She says, Ben and I talked that night before any accusations at all came forward. He told me that Elliot, that'd be Secular Rarity, the Tennessee Strangler, and Nancy, that would be the great Nancy, the undisputed champion of Word Wrestling Entertainment. Finishing maneuver, you should already know. The Get It Notarized. Elliot and Nancy were super wasted, making out and heavy petting. What does that have to do with what happened? Anyway, heavy petting in the common area, making everyone uncomfortable. So they got up to go to the room, and Elliot talked to Ben, that'd be Dr. Ben, about whether it was a good idea or not. Ben told him it was not, but didn't intervene. I added that part. The didn't intervene part, I added that. The part about him not intervening, that was my commentary. Just to be clear, that was me. That was me. I said that. She didn't. I said that. I did. Ben told him it was not before they left together. Now I'm fully willing to believe Ben on this. Arden, that'd be Arden Hart, who is not a dark romance author and is no longer an OnlyFans model. I think that's about the 5th or 6th time I've said that now. Arden told me the same thing. Okay. Okay. Next. Oh, look. It's AJ Ruley. No. We're gonna keep it OG. You might have to zoom in or something. All right. She says Casey Gleason and Drew Beckius. Wait, why is she referencing Godfather Engineer? And Drew Beckius, that would be the husband of Stacey Beckius. Stacey Beckius is the woman that found Nancy. So this is from a thread that was on Drew Beckius's Facebook post. So for some reason, Drew Beckius, the husband of the woman who found Nancy after the attack, posted a link to our video talking about this, trying to let people know what was going on. He posted a link to it on his Facebook page. And for some reason, there was over 150, now 160 messages of people dogpiling on the victim. And the husband of that, for some reason, let all this dogpiling and victim blaming happen on his Facebook page, even though his wife allegedly found the victim. I wonder why he'd let that happen. And I wonder why AJ feels the need to address him and Godfather Engineer. So she says, oh no, she's not addressing Godfather Engineer. She's addressing a Godfather's, the Godmother, Casey Gleason. My bad. Casey Gleason. She says, Casey Gleason and Drew Beckius. I also want to add that Nancy's original statement said she gave no consent and that Elliot dragged her outside forcefully. And it all happened there at once. Evidence does not indicate that. She initiated the advances. Whoa. People witnessed her kissing him publicly and very visibly at times against his will. The same witnesses saw them walking outside willingly, come back in fixing themselves, go back to the bar, and then continue the PDA and attempting to head to Nancy's room via the stairs. Her room, where she was staying with her sister and her sister's daughter. So we supposed to believe whatever she wanted to do with him, she was going to do in the room with her sister and her sister's child. So we continue. Arden Hart from the line. Dr. Ben from the line. And Glenda Jordan, partner of the internal investigator at NanoCon, herself a featured speaker at this year's NanoCon. And now her partner, who was the internal investigator when this happened, will be on the board. Here they are being summoned by AJ Ruley, Arden, Ben, Glenda. Was it one of you who testified Nancy told you she wanted to take Elliot to her room? I don't want to give the wrong info here. So her claim that she had not given consent is questionable here. I'm not questioning whether she withdrew it, by the way. She has a right to withdraw consent at any time. Here comes Glenda, responding to being summoned. I feel compelled to share my thoughts. I sincerely hope you can remain open and receptive, as this is obviously a charged situation. Oh, wait, I'm fucking this all the way up. This is Glenda Jordan, not Gail Jordan. I think Gail Jordan is the partner of Elliot Cantor, and I think Glenda is her daughter. I think Glenda is the fire dancer from NanoCon. Oh, they are both featured speakers at NanoCon, but Glenda's the daughter. Let me just get that right. But I'm sure they'll fuck me all the way up for it anyway, because it doesn't matter. Because, you know, me getting the biographies and the fucking family tree wrong. Why is there a family tree? But me getting the family tree wrong will be the important takeaway from this broadcast. Just you wait. Just you wait. We promise you. But look, for those that are trying to keep up with us, okay, this is Glenda Jordan. I think she did the fire dancey, the sexy time at NanoCon. I'm just saying, when you look at how people present and market NanoCon, there's a lot of sexualization to the content. Now, given that there was also this very unsafe sexual assault that happened, and when the very unsafe sexual assault happened, people blamed it on failed BDSM. Someone threw someone down the stairs, sexually assaulted and strangled them. They told us, sounds like a failed scene. And then for a long time, there was really no content about NanoCon. Everybody was like, people were like, where's all the content from NanoCon? Where's all the content from NanoCon? And then after we started talking about it, not only was there just content about NanoCon, but most of the content about NanoCon had a certain kind of what you may call sexy, sexy, sexy time at NanoCon flavor to it, including the fire dance. Okay, and I think Glenda here is the fire dancer, if I'm getting this correct. I don't really care about this fucked up cast of characters, but I'm trying to give it to you as straight as I can give it to you. This is her mother. The mother is, okay, the partner of this dude, the internal investigator who's going to be on the board this year. Okay. And the daughter is, you know, a different featured nano speaker at NanoCon. Okay. I'm trying to get it right, y'all. Trying to get it right. All right. So this is the daughter. I feel compelled to share my thoughts. I sincerely hope you can remain open and receptive, as this is obviously a charged situation. I don't even know where to start with that YouTube video, from the violent threats to the constant misogynistic slurs. It was difficult to get through. I will start with Patty's claim that Nancy was just flirty. That is not what I personally witnessed. I genuinely almost got up from my table outside to intervene on behalf of SR because she was so aggressive and handsy with him, and he was turning his head to avoid French kissing. Later, they left together hand in hand, every indicator of going to enjoy a consensual experience together. Think about what they saw. This is where your girlies fail you. Later, they left together hand in hand, right? Like that married couple. Remember I told you your secular girlies fail you because you walked out with your husband, even though they heard y'all fighting earlier. Later, they left together hand in hand, every indicator of going to enjoy a consensual experience together. I even texted a friend at the time to that effect. Didn't text her, but texted somebody else, noting relief that it seemed to be mutual, not just her pursuing him one-sidedly. Remember that talk about how I said you're there fighting with your husband and your secular girlies are going to fail you? Mm-hmm. Do you see what I was talking about? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And imagine if for some reason the husband of the other secular girly that found you, for some reason, seemed really unwilling to speak up about what they experienced. And then what if the woman who found you, one of your secular girlies that you knew and called a friend, and her mother also decided they really didn't have anything to say about it either? Crazy part is there's so many more secular girlies that failed her. So many more. I don't like publicly sharing that information because, as the detailed screenshots have been shared here, this was apparently all in the investigation and report that happened. Although, again, this would be private information that we need to hear from Nancy. It has nothing to do with me and feels invasive on Nancy's behalf. But if all these claims are going to be screamed out on this YouTube video, I feel compelled to address the ones I happen to have personal information about. I've been involved in various progressive communities for decades now. I've seen this phenomenon happen multiple times. An incident occurs and a boundary is violated. The people involved work it out and reach resolution, but someone decides they're going to make this their own personal crusade and wave around the victim's trauma for their own benefit and center on themselves. It's virtue signaling to a degree that there needs to be a different word for it. It's so harmful and disgusting, as again, it utterly bulldozes the victim. That's me. They're saying that me, the dude who went live with the sister of the victim, and the other whistleblowers whose idea it was to tell y'all, I just was like, yeah, my channel's the one most connected to this particular space. We can use my channel. Yeah. They said that we, the other survivors and whistleblowers who wanted to talk to you about this with the sister of the victim, they said we bulldozed the victim. Not the white man that threw her down the stairs, sexually assaulted her and strangled her. The black man who thought you should know what happened. Because her sister told me it happened. I just showed up tonight. I am very, very happy you showed up tonight. All right. Let's continue. All right. From the screenshot shared here, Nancy is not being consulted for this. As if we hadn't bothered to ask her sister if it was okay. Almost as if when Sumami said, "Hey Jay, we really do have to go live and talk about it." Actually, I think maybe it was Pete. Somebody hit me and was like, "Yo, Sumami says we got to go live and talk about it." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure, whatever. I'm down. Let's do it. I'm not gonna let her do it by herself." And then I was like, "Hang on." And then I called Patty. And I was like, "Patty, Sumami wants people to know this happened, and I think she's right, and I'm gonna go live with her. But see, me and Sue kind of have a reputation out here. Because of that reputation, people are not going to want to hear this from me and Sue. They're going to think we're just trying to stir some shit up. Wouldn't be true. If it's just me and Sue, maybe PC and Kyle, that's how they're going to take this. Would you be willing to go live with us so you could tell the story about what happened to your sister? And we could be there to support you and talk a little bit about how the community failed to respond to this correctly. And she had a fucking medical procedure to deal with that day on top of everything. But she said, "I'll do my best." She delayed the stream. She decided to go live with us. And everybody decided to throw her under the bus, call Sumami a transphobe for calling out the women who did not stand with her, whether they were cis or trans or not. And they've done nothing but harass, cancel, and try to get us fired and doxxed since. So now you have a crime, a coercive conspiracy to cover up a crime, and a coordinated, coercive campaign to silence, harass, and materially affect the lives of the whistleblowers and the people covering it. Where is she? Did she consent to this video her sister was in? This is such an egregious violation of her privacy and her wishes for what she wanted, as others have pointed out with receipts, that I don't hardly have the words for how violating this feels. If someone did this to me after an incident, I don't even know how I'd manage. Now, for those who don't know what they're referring to, there was a time during all of this that, you know, Patty's been very transparent about where her and Nancy were not exactly on the same page about things. And some of these people were in communication with Nancy during that time. And so they have been taking screenshots from conversations during that period of time to imply that much later than that period of time, when Patty spoke out publicly about what happened to Nancy, that she didn't have permission to do so because they were like, look, see, she doesn't want Patty to be talking out about it. She's not talking to Patty. You know, thinking you're too dumb to realize that they're sisters. And that sisters sometimes go through things, especially when one of them is experiencing something traumatic and the other's doing their best to hold it down and try to, you know, hold people accountable, and that maybe they worked through that, and now she's talking about it with her sister's blessing. They thought you were too dumb to think about that and realize that, so they thought they could say, look, 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 look. Here's screenshots from months ago that show they had a falling out. So now the secular girlies are not just imagining getting thrown down the stairs, sexually assaulted and strangled. They're imagining having the rare luck of being there, not just with anybody, but with a sister. And not just any sister, a strong sister, like Patty. One who says, oh, no, 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 no. What happened to you was all the way fucked up. I'm going to make sure everybody knows, and I'm going to do my best to make sure somebody's held accountable no matter what. And when you finally say to that sister, hey, go ahead, sister. If you think you can do something with my story, go ahead and do it. So then your sister comes forward, starts telling your story alongside some other survivors and whistleblowers. And then you watch as the community goes to deconstructing your sister's authority to share your story. To the point that you feel compelled to write a 10-page notarized letter just to show that your sister's story is consistent with your account. And you get it notarized. And then another one of your secular girlies who wants everybody to be reminded she was on your safety team makes a 10-minute video deconstructing how notaries work. Glad you tuned in tonight. I'm so concerned for Nancy, and this video again is such a disgusting violation. At the bar, Nancy expressed sexual desires. Nancy expressed sexual desires and private information with me that has direct bearing on what happened. And while that context matters, after all these dirty deets, I will not be sharing those details here, as it would be unethical to do so without her consent. They done all the way overshared, but they don't want to share too much. I'm a rape and sexual assault survivor, multiple incidents. I've had failed scenes. Probably thought I was playing about the failed scenes things. I've had failed scenes. That's one of the speakers at this year's NanoCon saying about this. I've had failed scenes. Been bruised and violated and traumatized. There are people out there that foam at the mouth at being able to crusade on behalf of victims that do nothing but further violate them and center themselves. That's more about me violating her, not Elliot violating her. That is not victim advocacy. You are not making spaces safer. The idea that we wouldn't metaphorically chuck SR off a cliff. Oh, now they understand metaphors about violence. Wait till they tell you I'm a misogynist because I called a professional liar a raggedy bitch. Again, I'm not here to win over you and get your approval for my language. But I'm here to make the point that my language was used so that you would not pay attention to the story I've been trying to cover about what happened to that woman, while they call me a misogynist. The only person who's probably covered this for more than 100 hours, or at least is working on it. And they decided to tell my boss that I threaten people's lives using movie quotes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The idea that we wouldn't metaphorically chuck SR off a cliff based on the way it was framed in this YouTube video is absurd. We would absolutely cut all ties. We've done so on numerous occasions for people we love, trusted, and respected for far less. I believe you are coming from a place of justice and kindness. I trust and believe that your desire is to decrease harm, but that is not what is happening here. Wow. Seems like really strongly discouraging the husband of the woman who found her to speak out about it. Whoa, was that Arden Hart? So AJ addresses Casey and Drew, summons Arden, Ben, and Glenda. Here comes Glenda. Here comes Arden. Glenda Jordan. I just want to second everything said here by Glenda. I was also at the table and witnessed everything alongside her, and my recollection was exactly the same. I haven't been following the fallout super closely after the fact, but that's what I saw. I would probably have believed and taken Nancy's word for it if I hadn't witnessed what I did myself. Dr. Ben, no longer student Dr. Ben. I think it's whole ass Dr. Ben now. Whole ass Dr. Ben. I was at the table with Glenda Jordan and Arden Hart and remember the same. I haven't had the energy lately to weigh in because I don't think I can articulate my thoughts very well. You mean your thoughts about how you apparently had a conversation with Elliot about whether or not this was a good idea? You told him it wasn't, but didn't intervene. And then you heard about what happened to her. And then when you were summoned by the woman who's been running around spreading evidence to undermine her story, all of a sudden, quick, fast, and in a hurry, here you come. Co-sign on the victim blaming of Arden Hart and Glenda Jordan. And there's your connection between The Line and NanoCon. The Line and NanoCon. Mm-hmm. All right. Would you be feeling conflicted because of you and Elliot's friendship? I wonder how that impacted Bre. As far as I know, was your roommate before a recent move. Wonder what Bre's been up to since her relocation. Oh, here's John Gleason. This is Godless. Godfather engineer. I don't know, man. I felt your response was a womp womp. You shared a video where nearly everyone in this comment section is described as a flying monkey that helped protect the dangerous predators, some of whom were directly named. Kesey Gleason and I brought up in live chat as being responsible. So, like, I get that you want to have a wider conversation about this, but this video ostracizes those that actually put Nancy's wishes first. We actually sought to protect her and respect her. Yet this video seems to indicate that's not what we did. It's a gross mischaracterization, and you know that if you bother to even look at the text messages. Seems like you didn't, though, because none of us are saying that something didn't happen. None of us are saying that mistakes weren't made. What mistakes? So framing your response as if we are is disingenuous. You don't address how those disparaged in the video were actually putting Nancy first until her husband found out. Sounds like another responsible party not named Elliot Martin. And her narrative changed completely after her husband found out. Interesting. Girlies, remember that part about the other secular people failing you and not being safe? Imagine something bad happens to you. You have a trauma response. Maybe you start thinking about your bigger life beyond this place, beyond this moment, beyond this one episode in your journey. And you decide, yeah, I ain't even trying to with all that right now. But eventually your partner says, hey, something going on. I need to talk about whatever it is that you ain't been talking about. So you just go ahead and let it on out. Now that you don't let it on out, your partner is like, man, I'm in disbelief that this happened to you and that you chose to prioritize, our situation. But right now we need to prioritize your situation. So let's go handle this business. And instead of that community that was supporting you being like, hey, let's see what we can do. Instead, they say, don't listen to her. She didn't even want to pursue this until her husband found out. And then her story changed completely. Even though it's the same story she told when it happened. Then what seems like under duress and pressure from both her husband and her sister, Patty, did she file charges that almost resulted in false police report charges. Yes, I've seen the evidence proving this. Now, mind you, he's saying that it almost resulted in false police report charges for her because she was lying so badly. And then she took those same allegedly false allegations that almost resulted in false police report charges, put them on paper, got them notarized, and sent them to her sister and said, you can discuss this and share this publicly. And then they say they've seen evidence proving it. I wonder where they've seen the evidence proving it. Would that be in AJ's evidence about an email from Elliot's lawyer discussing the offer from the DA to file charges against Nancy for false reporting? Elliot I emailed the detective last week about getting something in writing. He was supposed to forward me an email from the DA. As for the video, unlikely. It's not technically discoverable at this stage in the process, especially since it's a closed investigation. He was only going to pursue charges against her if you requested him to. If you want to unpack that more, let me know and we can schedule a call. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And here, you can see the Nancy Safety Group. Helen, Bre, KC. Mm-hmm. Or as we like to say, mm-hmm. Mm. In the end, this video and your response comes across like I know better than Nancy about what she experienced, what she needs, and I think everyone should be talking about the thing that happened to her instead of respecting her wishes. Again, Drew, I think a more reflective response to the real evidence versus video is warranted here. I get you want a conversation on consent, but SR respected her consent, even stupid drunk. He said SR respected her consent, even stupid drunk. I thought you couldn't give or receive consent when stupid drunk. But these people know SR was accused of throwing her down the stairs, sexually assaulting and strangling her. And Godfather Engineer, for some reason, there's a narrative that he wants people to stick to where SR respected her consent, even stupid drunk. Mm-hmm. And here we go. As far as the transphobia, the turf tsunami. Mm-hmm. That's the tsunami who said, what type of woman are you if you're not going to stand with this victim right here on code in the time of struggle, under duress from these people? Mm-hmm. She was called the turf because she called out the cis women and the trans women, which all the real women in the crowd, you know, the ones who stand on code, like I just said, the real women, the ones who understand what we're really talking about, the ones who stand on the social and political expectations, they understand. That's what she was speaking to. That there's a social and what you may call political expectation of what you need to do and stand in solidarity with your sisters in a time like this. And because she called out the cis and trans women, the trans women she called out called her a transphobe, and then the cis women also called her a misogynist, so that them being called out could also be evidence of her bigotry. And then discredit the entire group engaged in the call out using the transphobia as a shield. So here comes Godfather Engineer saying, hey, by the way, man, why the fuck would you even post a link like this? Because the turf tsunami listed off some women, including trans women, and said they weren't women. Maybe re-listen to the bio you shared again. An inclusive call out was used to package all of this as transphobia so that you would not pay attention to the story about what happened to Nancy. Now, what are our questions? Who benefited from that story? Who wrote that curriculum? Who came up with the policy of silence? Who came up with the policy that when silence fails, this is the narrative instead? We've seen the effectiveness of the coercive campaign against the victim, her sister, and the whistleblowers. We can document the near year of silence. So now the question from our feature video is, who wanted it to play out that way? Why did they want it to play out that way? What did they gain? What did they need? Why was it so important to them that it had to play out this way? Here's him emailing me. Jay, before you do your stream tonight, is this trying to stop me from speaking out before I even speak out? Jay, before you do your stream tonight, you should know that Nancy and Patty are lying. Nancy and Patty are lying, and there's a lot of evidence demonstrating so. Initially, we were on Nancy's side of this until her lies started to unravel her story, which led to the police not only dropping charges against Elliot, but also wanting them to file charges against her for filing a false police report. Again, those same accusations she would later get notarized. If you want more of the story or evidence, let me know and I'll get it to you. Here comes Dee, the mother of the woman that found her. Where's Stacy? The woman that actually found her. Why hasn't Stacy said anything about this? Dee says, thank you, Drew, for speaking logically and kindly to both sides. Why would the guy married to the woman that found the victim be speaking logically and kindly to both sides? Atheists debate brain rot much? They're talking about both sides of her getting thrown down the stairs, sexually assaulted and strangled. Speaking as a victim here, now I will say only this, and this about me. I did and said some of the craziest crap to protect my abuser/assailant, and to this day, I don't know why. I think maybe because I was ashamed that I, quote, let it happen. Maybe, I honestly don't know, but I'm disappointed when I see comments like she was flirting. To me, that's the same thing as saying, well, what was she wearing? That takes us back decades and decades in time. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't even have to be referring to this particular matter at hand. I just can't believe that anyone still says those kind of things when it comes to this kind of situation. I feel like we're just taking so many steps backwards. I'm sad. And I also think you're right, Drew. In this day and age, we have become so accustomed to seeing everything on camera that if we don't see the actual violence with our own eyes, we just don't believe it, and that's gross. Here's my edit. Why does she come back and feel the need to edit? This will be the only thing I say on the entire matter publicly. I will not get into it back and forth with anyone. It's too exhausting and I'm just not going to do it. I also don't want to have the time to live on Facebook. It's 4 a.m. as I write this, and I'm up for work, and I went to bed at 1 a.m. after working all day and evening. I was up 22 hours yesterday. The other thing is, believe it or not, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. So if I'm wrong, I'll own it. Okay, bye, guys. There's so much to unpack here. We don't really have time for it. But why is the mother of the woman that found her coming forward to say that the dialogue in this particular Facebook thread on the page of the husband of the woman that found her is setting women back decades? And then after that, why does she feel the need to come back and edit it and say, don't worry, I won't ever be saying anything else about this again publicly? And why isn't the woman that found her in here telling us what she experienced? And why are that family unit, the husband and wife of the husband and wife, you know, Stacy being the wife that found her, and Dee, the mother, Stacy's mom, from Stacy's Mom Has Got It All Wrong. Right? Where are they? Why haven't they spoken out about what they saw at NanoCon? What are they so afraid of? Or better yet, who are they so afraid of? But believe it or not, that's actually not the focus of today's show. That's Becca. She's being supportive the whole time. There's really nothing here to see. We appreciate you, Becca. Thank you so much for speaking out on all of this. Here's Ember going. I was 100% ready to drive to Indiana and see if Nancy was okay because the immediate concern was that her husband had found out and become violent with her. Notice, immediate concern was her husband found out and become violent with her. Another person not talking about Elliot. Then some additional facts came to light. There's a lot. I'll get right to the most important part. There's hotel security footage. The story isn't true. That's Ember Belrad. Here's Maya, the lady who wrote who produced the 10-minute notary counter apologetics video. Miss Bad Science Sunday. Saying, is your stream about SR? So I'm really concerned that you don't have all the information. Then for some reason, she sends me a message from KC Gleason, Godfather Engineer's partner. It absolutely is serious when someone files a false police report about sexual assault and video evidence proves they lied. Here's Marin from Misinterpretations. Y'all want to do a quick side quest? Who's up for an adventure? I wonder if I typed in Skeptic Haven, how long it would find for me to find them making content with AJ and Marion from Misinterpretations. It's almost, oh, here's Drew and Stacy. Who really protects women? Here's Drew and Stacy, who won't say anything about what they experienced at NanoCon, talking about who really protects women. And here's AJ and Marin. It's almost as though Skeptic Haven's become a safe haven for the flying monkeys. Wouldn't it be crazy if we started telling you about the flying monkeys in December and the picture of AJ on the thumbnail of this video is art she generated to celebrate being called one of the flying monkeys? Wouldn't it be crazy if here we are months later and I'm doing the stream to document again exactly that she's not just a flying monkey, she's one of the fucking lead flying monkeys? And then you're going to look through the playlist I made, linked in the description, and you're going to watch the stream called They Sold Merch. Flying Monkeys t-shirts, cups, mugs. They either bought merch and then some of them made their own merch and sold that merch on their YouTube channels. Never forget, ladies. Ladies, hello. No, don't. Ladies, I understand this is difficult, but I'm going to need you to keep it together. For real, for real. Be so fucking for real. We ain't got time for you breaking down and all that shit. This ain't one of them situations, girls. That ain't going to happen. Ain't nobody coming to save you. I'm trying to tell you that. The whole purpose of all this ladies' night this weekend has been to tell you these niggas is not gonna help you. These motherfuckers is not coming to save you. Okay? Now I told you, get your ass up out of this YouTube atheist bullshit, but you don't want to listen. You want to stay with your secular girlies and go to the next NanoCon. Okay? So you gotta get so fucking for real. They sold merchandise. There's been a full investigation, complete with video from the hotel, and SR has been completely exonerated of any wrongdoing. People kept quiet because Nancy asked them to. Interesting. Oh, here's AJ. Both the NanoCon and police investigations included not just witness testimonies, but also video footage from the hotel. Both the NanoCon and police investigations included not just witness testimonies. What witnesses? I thought it was only the two of them in the stairwell. But also video footage from the hotel. You can't fake that evidence. And then she says, my police testimony included 20 pages of screenshots, timelines, photos, and other evidence. She said, my police testimony. I said, my, she says, my, got me saying, my police testimony included 20 pages of screenshots, timelines, photos, and other evidence. Are you ready for the pop quiz? Told you there'd be a quiz. What did we say earlier? Remember I told you to hang on to that magic number? What was that magic number? 17. Now, I asked you an important question. I said, now, if you had 17, would you round it down to 10? Or would you round it up? If you round it up, what would you call it? I said about 20-ish. So now here she's saying, my. My police testimony included 20 pages of screenshots, timelines, photos, and other evidence. Got me saying, my. my. Would that be the same screenshots and timeline and evidence included in this 17-page smear campaign document where we deconstructed the date that the altercation took place and talked about the false police report charges that she later would take those same allegations and get notarized that she almost allegedly was about to catch a charge over. Got me saying, my police testimony. And then here she is saying, D, Stacy's mom has got it all wrong. She's talking to D, Stacy's mom. She says, nobody is asking to see video or for it to be made public. We are asking whether there were cameras in the stairwell to determine if the police closed the case based on concrete evidence. Let's read it again. We are asking, key term, we are asking whether there were cameras in the stairwell to determine if the police closed the case based on concrete evidence. But remember back here, got me saying, my. Remember the charges almost resulted in false police report charges? And yes, he's seen evidence proving this. Wonder what evidence there was. Then he says, there's a lot of evidence demonstrating that Patty and Nancy are lying. And it led to the police almost wanting to file charges against her. Then we get told there's hotel security camera footage. The story isn't true. Hotel security camera footage that the story isn't true. Now, if you're not playing sleuth at home, you're missing out on the fun of participating in today's exercise. We're all the way in true crime mode up in this bitch. So when they tell you that there's security camera footage that tells you the story isn't true, where would that security camera footage need to be? Ding, 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 in the stairwell. In order for there to be hotel security footage that proved the story isn't true, it would have to be hotel security camera footage of the stairwell, because that's where this allegedly took place or did not take place. Now, can you imagine if there was video evidence in the stairwell where it would have to be in order for that video evidence, security footage, to prove that the assault did not happen? Because they're saying there's video camera footage that the story isn't true. So that would mean that there's video evidence, there's hotel security camera footage of the stairwell that proves the story didn't happen. Now imagine there existing this hotel security footage in the stairwell that shows you were not assaulted. And then you take that same false allegation of you being assaulted in that stairwell where there's video evidence that you were not, getting that notarized and telling your sister to publish it publicly. That's what they want you to believe is going on. And then this one. This is Casey Gleason, Mrs. Godfather Engineer. Video evidence proves they lied. Where would that video evidence have to be, gang? In the stairwell, right? Video evidence proves they lied. Must be video of the stairwell. There's been a full investigation complete with video from the hotel, and SR has been completely exonerated of any wrongdoing. Where would that video from the hotel need to be of, gang? In the stairwell. You're doing real good so far. Doing real good so far, connecting the dot. Both the Nano CON and police investigation included not just witness testimonies. What witnesses? I thought they were the only two people in the stairwell. Which witnesses? But also video footage from the hotel. You can't fake that evidence. Video footage from the hotel. You can't fake that evidence. If there's video footage from the hotel that you can't fake that proves it didn't happen, it must have been filmed where, y'all? In the stairwell. Exactly. But I also asked which witnesses. My. My police testimony included 20 pages of screenshots, timelines, photos, and other evidence. My police testimony. I'm sure that's not it. But that's where AJ's going to come out and want to show us all that this isn't it and what she really has that would actually prove that it didn't happen. Because as you could tell from the link in the description, this ain't got shit to do with shit. This ain't got shit to do with shit. That ain't got shit to do with shit. Hope you've been paying attention. D. Murphy. Nobody is asking to see video or for it to be made public. We are asking whether there were cameras in the stairwell to determine if the police closed the case based on concrete evidence. Don't take my word for it, though. I suck at research. Ask Matt Dillon. D, nobody is asking to see video for it to be made public. We are asking whether there were cameras in the stairwell. One more time for the people in the back. Thank you, PC. We are asking whether there were cameras in the stairwell to determine. It's almost as if they don't know if video footage of the stairwell even exists, and they certainly haven't motherfucking seen it. Oh, it gets so much better. And you want to hear the craziest part when I tell you I did 4 fucking broadcasts today and I saved my best for last? All this shit I'm taking you through right now, all this shit I done taken y'all through, all this girl power shit we've been doing all night, we're not even at the main event yet, y'all. We hang in there because we are not, I promise you, we are not. This is another one of the mega streams that's going to be YouTube cinema. It's like 4 hours or some shit like that. You can watch it back, watch it slow, take your time, take your week, take a road trip. I'm giving you a lot of content tonight. You can sit with it. Sit with it. I want you to sit with it. Don't worry, we got you. But just hang in there because I ain't even get to the main event yet. Damn. We've been trying to tell y'all. We at these people's heads, necks, and shoulders. I said they head, neck, and shoulders. One more time, just because. How sweet it is to be hated by you. Judge me by my enemies. Nobody is asking to see video or for it to be made public. This is AJ Ruley. We are asking whether there were cameras in the stairwell to determine if the police closed the case based on concrete evidence. All these same people that just told us they closed the case based on concrete video evidence. They think you are really dumb. Girlies, that's what I'm saying. This shit ain't just dangerous and unsafe. They think you are so dumb. You literally won't even get it. And then they think, on top of that, that they can play in your face about it. They can just sell you tickets to the next NanoCon. They can just appoint themselves the safety team. They can just laugh in your face about all this.
Say my name. You're goddamn right. You know exactly who I am. You guys know what show that's from. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name. Say my name.
Could it be SR through down the stairs, another lady? Cause if you took it there, first of all, let me say, I am not the one to sit around and be played. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You've been running games. Say my name. You acting kind of shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, even this part gets better though. Even this part gets better. Here's Nancy emailing Patty. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be crazy if your sister was so concerned about this happening to you and you were trying to get your sister's story out there that y'all authorized people to publicly share your personal text exchanges just to document your personal text exchanges because nobody wanted to believe your sister or talk about this? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be crazy if we broadcast this shit way back in December? And here it is, April 27th, and nobody still wants to talk about this. Mm-hmm. Here's Nancy saying, "Hey, Pat's got bad news. The district attorney made a decision on the case, and he said there wasn't enough evidence along with too many conflicting stories. But if there was no video evidence in the stairwell, and there were no other witnesses in the stairwell, where did the conflicting stories come from? Say my name, when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You've been running game. Say my name, You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name." Wait till it gets to the point that every time somebody sees your face in this community, or sees your name on a screen, or hears someone say your name, they think about that video you made playing in people's face going, "Say my name, say my name, say my name." And then my song just goes off, stuck in the memory of the head, and they sit there and they see it, and in their head they go, "Could it be SR? Threw down the stairs, another lady." Her name was Nancy. "Because if you took it there, first of all, let us say we are not the ones to sit around and be played. Say my name, when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You've been running games. Say my name, You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name." But instead, y'all should be mad at me because I said that AJ is not a lady, right? Right? Glad they're all having entertainment at my expense. Hope I never hear from any of them again. But look at this part right here. She said, "The sheriff said all they had was video from the bar." What? What? Is that the victim telling her sister? The sheriff said all they had was video from the bar where apparently I was just all over him, making it look very bad in my favor. Mm, 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 mm. Because maybe what people saw on the video from the bar where apparently she was all over him was consistent with those conflicting stories. Where would heard the stories about her being all over him about the at the bar be coming from? Who was there that would be providing these stories about the conflicting accounts about what they saw based on her behavior at the bar? Hmm. 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 Hmm.
You're goddamn right. You know exactly who I am. You guys know what show that's from. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
We'll be right back with our main event. I need to use a little boys' room real quick.
Ready for takeoff?
Whoa. Working hard on my stump, what's the problem? I ain't had shit to show, being modest. Now it's grams of the wax for my conscience. Bron James in LA, you're on college. I've been jumping on them planes like a hobby. Still moving with the pack like my partners. Just a John on them jets cause you wildin'. But the bowl is a party on the island, moment of silence. So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pots flip. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Split the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen a change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs in the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute, just the front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules. Had my first child, got it jumping with music. Can't really hang with nobody who losing. I thought by now that you would go and get it, but I could hardly see niggas as distant. Know you get cropped if you not in the picture. And I made that tag and went got a bag. Shots to the Henny and OG prescriptions, put rebel shit on the map. Took a leap from where I started at, started ballin' now I'm Chris Paul and Cass. Got him steady calling for the mold, but I'm on a roll, gotta call him back. And that's all fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. All aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should now be clear. All electronic devices should now be turned off and stowed, as they may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication systems. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you may use approved electronic devices, but note that some items may not be used at any time during the flight. You'll find a list of approved devices in the in-flight information section.
All right. Let's get into this then. If you want to know what this has really cost some people, the full version of what we were able to capture from Bre's stream is available in the description. I'm going to play a few minutes of this stream where she was playing with a pistol, pointing it at her face, talking about how she no longer wanted to live the life she's been living because of the immense pressure she's been under to not speak out about what happened at NanoCon. Now, Let's connect our facts tonight, ladies. Number one, your last safe space where you and all the secular girlies would gather in the online YouTube atheist space and the events associated with it. Not a safe space. Your last safe space is not a safe space. Why isn't your safe space a safe? Why isn't your last safe space a safe space? Your last safe space is not a safe space because prioritizing safety was inconvenient because someone threw a woman down the stairs, sexually assaulted her, and strangled her. And people wanted to make sure that no one talked about it. Let's talk about how community actually works. The way community actually works is that when something dangerous happens in the community, all of what we call the stakeholders need to be involved. See, what these grifters do is they sucker you into a sense of community based on YouTube. They count on your parasocial relationships with content creators and the people you interact with in the chat to suck you in and make you exploitable. To take your interest, your time, and your attention and convert it into capital. Through views, clicks, likes, subs, and then conference ticket sales, travel plans. Because they know you're coming out of high control religion groups. So maybe there are predators amongst us. Maybe even predators amongst us who target victims out of high control groups, considering them perfect targets. If only we covered that this weekend. If only we covered that in a stream called Secularity Never Existed. But somehow this woman's story was really inconvenient to somebody. As though if people were to really talk about what happened and take a true accounting of who failed to do what, when, how did all of this go down? What happened at NanoCon? And when the silence was finally broken through, there was a coercive effort to harass, silence, deplatform the whistleblowers. Who benefited from that? Who decided on the policy of silence? And when it failed, who decided on the alternate history that was socially enforced? Who wrote the curriculum? Who benefited? Who used this as a come up? Who used this as their chance to become a star? Who used this to step forward to center stage? Who was elevated? I could tell you the only person was not named Elliot Martin. There were others. I need you to understand that the young lady is sharing with you a story that some people looked away while she was sharing it because they literally weren't sure she would live to finish telling you what she's about to tell you. And before you get too caught up in the riffraff, I'm gonna be honest with you. You listen to the whole version of this video, she throws me all the way up under the bus. Then think about why I decided to show this to you anyway. And who really hopes you're not listening closely.
I'm not snapping at you, Sandy. I was snapping at the person who told me to, told you to come get me. Because that's one of the people that's bullying me currently.
The person who told you to come get me.
That's like literally reaching out to my loved ones and telling them to warn me that I'm gonna lose all my friends if I don't comply and change my story.
Reaching out to my friends and loved ones, telling them I'm going to lose all my friends if I don't comply and change my story.
And again, Titan, you didn't. I sent them to Maya. The days and days and days of attempted coercion to get me to change my stories, to try to convince me to change my stories. And again, Titan, you didn't. I sent them to Maya. The days and days and days of attempted coercion to get.
Days and days and days of attempted coercion.
Me to change my stories,
to get me to change my story.
Try to convince me to change my stories.
To try to convince me to change my story.
The hundreds of the paragraphs.
Hundreds of paragraphs.
How many? It was at least 36 full screenshots on my
36 full screenshots.
Phone of someone spending that much dedication to try to coerce me into changing my story.
Someone spending that much dedication into coercing me to change my story. Now, like I said, when you watch the full version, not the full thing is what we were able to get before it went private. She throws me all the way under the bus. She does. The reason I'm okay with that is because me and Bre used to be friends. And what she reveals in this video is so important to what the five of us, me, Patty, and the three whistleblowers that have been documenting since December. She said everything we've been trying to show motherfuckers since December. So even though she threw us all the way under the bus, we was like, oh no, people need to hear this. But she makes you look bad and she says, y'all fucked it all the way up. She sure does. And we think everybody needs to hear it anyway. So as she's talking about who is giving her all this grief and telling her to change her story and these pages, and I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you two things right now. Number one, when you watch the full thing that we put up, she throws me all the way under the bus. And number two, who she's talking about right now, it's definitely not me. And for what I put up, I actually show you my exchanges with her. Let's see if we can figure out who all this hubbubalub is about. Because again, she throws me under the bus in this video. But she damn sure is not talking about me.
Okay? So, just because you saw a little screenshot of someone saying something innocuous does not mean that you know. No, this person dedicated serious time to.
Yep, she throws PC under the bus too. But like PC just said right here, throws me under the bus too, but I'm not worried because I was asking her questions. I was trying to show her some support, but she accuses me of love bombing her. But like I did a broadcast the other day, I had a friend who committed suicide. I heard Bre was under some duress. This is video proof of that duress. I reached out and showed my concern because I was concerned. She told me I was love bombing her. I wanted you to see it anyway. Keep that in mind.
Tried to coerce me. You know what, Maya? I give you permission to share those screenshots with Titan since you all both blocked me.
Now, would that be the same Maya Atkinson who, at some point last week or something, launched into an absolute tirade about me because she alleged that somebody left a comment in her chat who had made Bre cry? And here's Bre crying something fierce. On a stream that I had to black out the screen when she's playing with a pistol. That at one point she appears to point at her. Go watch it. You'll see where I had to sit there and edit my friend doing that on YouTube. Remember that part about when I told you people left the stream because they weren't sure she would live to finish telling you the story she was trying to tell you? Yeah, when you watch that video, you're going to be like, they were not in any way, shape, or form exaggerating, being hyperbolic, kidding, joking, telling tall tales, none of that shit. They were trying to warn me about what the fuck it is exactly I was finna see. And in the middle of all that, she throws them all the way the fuck under the bus. And they wanted me to see it anyway. I wonder who doesn't want me to listen to what she's about to say in this story so many didn't know she would live to finish telling. There's a second woman who has now almost died behind all of this. You have to start asking yourself, who wanted it to play out this way? Ladies, please listen, because I have a feeling the men are not going to take care of the problem you're about to become very well aware of. You might have to get with some of them down-ass sisters I was talking about, and y'all might have to figure out how y'all are going to make sure this problem gets addressed. Of course, in a safe and ethical and legal fashion, all that bullshit. And yes, I have to say that thing, because if I don't, people are like, oh my God, he's threatening people's lives. Because he's asking YouTubers to make YouTube content so that we can shut down NanoCon. Because one of my friends was thrown down the stairs, sexually assaulted and strangled. I would like to shut down NanoCon. For anybody that cares about why I actually do this, I'm pretty transparent. I used to be a part of this community. I think it's unsafe and it sucks. I've been trying to prove that it sucks for years. Then something really awful happened to one of my friends. So I would like as many people as possible to realize it's unsafe and get the fuck up out of there, and then burn that shit to the ground so that it can no longer be unsafe for people. That starts right now with shutting down fucking NanoCon. Now, people make me out to be the bad guy because I don't want to be part of the community anymore, and I don't want to hold hands at the end of this and sing fa la 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 la. I'm like, fuck y'all, I'm up out of here. But at least I'm fucking transparent about what I want to happen. Now listen to Bre, please. Very, very closely.
Go ahead and you all can share those among yourselves. And you can see.
Oh, by the way, my point was this was that Maya who lost her shit over me because somebody made Bre cry. Seeing all of this shit that made Bre cry about Bre feeling coerced about not speaking out about NanoCon. And for some reason, apparently Maya and Titan dipped on her. Dipped on her in the middle of this? They dipped. I thought y'all was losing your shit because you were her defenders. Y'all dipped on her in the middle of this one? Y'all said if somebody make Bre cry, y'all ready to go to war. You said somebody make Bre cry, I'm ready to go to war. Bre was playing with a gun on YouTube and reveals that the reason that got her to that point was people were coercing her not to speak up about NanoCon. And then your response was to dip on her and then turn around and make a 10-minute video deconstructing how notaries work, Maya. Okay, let's get back on topic.
The level of commitment this person put into trying to
Who
get
is
me to
this
change my
person?
mind. Trying to get me to change my story. To protect somebody else's reputation.
To protect somebody's reputation? To protect whose reputation?
There was serious commitment put into that. So don't just say, oh, you asked for an opinion and they gave it to you. No, they committed serious time and paragraphs to trying to convince me otherwise.
That doesn't just sound like a coercive effort. It sounds like a well-documented coercive effort. See, what's so interesting about this YouTube community bullshit is, like I was trying to say before, but I kind of lost my train of thought, but it just came back to me. They suck you in with this community building bullshit. YouTube, community. But then when some shit really happens, they want everything to be handled behind closed doors. Want everything to be happening in secret. We do a Facebook stream about what happened in here, and do they just have it out in the comment section like we would normally do with anything else? Nope. For some reason, the husband of the woman that found her decides to drop a link on Facebook. Why are we going to? And then they all go over to Facebook and do their little dirt over there. Then they do their little dirt in their Discords, and they do their little dirt in their private meetings before anybody calls the cops. I hope there weren't private meetings before anybody called the cops. I hope it doesn't turn out that all of the people who provided conflicting statements had opportunity to coordinate those conflicting statements before they were given. Oof. Wouldn't it be a crazy thing for this community to start demanding answers to? Let's listen to Bre.
So no, it's not like that. So don't present it that way. Titan, when you tell me not to respond to you at all, I'm not going to violate that consent. I'm not. You've blocked me. I'm not allowed to message you, regardless of whether you clicked a button or not. I'm not. When you tell me stop messaging me, I'm going to stop messaging you. So, yeah. So. Oh, this is the opposite of that. Well, I know that that me coming forward about this is not what any of you guys want. I understand that. I understand that me coming out about this is not what you want. That was the whole point of everybody jumping on me, because I wanted to come out about this. Because I wanted to tell the truth. And I was
it's in the description.
From telling the truth. You all have been stopping me from telling the truth for months.
Who's been stopping her from telling the truth for months? And what happened months ago, you know, like in December when we first went public about this? that would lead to people needing to put pressure on her for months to not talk about what she experienced or knows. Especially since all we've been asking is for people to come help us. And you can start, if you know anything, or you saw or experienced anything related to this, by telling us what you know and what you've experienced.
Saying, don't talk about this, don't engage with this. But it's my life that's on the fucking fence here. It's me that is taking the fucking hit. I don't. This is the saddest fucking part about this. I stream every goddamn Saturday morning on schedule, and nobody fucking shows up. I have a fucking nervous breakdown and irresponsibly go on camera, and I got fucking 24 people in here watching after 15 minutes. 15 minutes in. Like, I have things to say. I have my own, and you being like, oh well, AJ already wrote this story out, so, and you being like, oh well, AJ already wrote this story out, so, and you being like, oh well, AJ already wrote this story out, so.
Girlies, you connecting the dots yet? First thing we talked about today. Your last safe place isn't safe. What's the second thing we talked about? The history you heard was all the way fucked up. Because that was somebody's policy decision. That was the narrative. That was a story that somebody wrote. Somebody wanted you to hear that story instead of Nancy's story. So you have to ask yourself, who benefited? Who wanted it to work out like this? And who wrote the curriculum? If only we had the motherfucking study materials of that narrative. My police testimony.
Say my name. You're goddamn right. You know exactly who I am. You guys know what show that's from. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
This year's featured speakers at NanoCon include Matt Dillahunty, Promise Backlund, Hemant Mehta, Monty Mater, Fish Stark, Forrest Falcai, Candace Gorham, Glenda Jordan, Kevin Crow, Christina Celeste, Gail Jordan, David Teachout, Sam McGuire, Will Judy, Jake Villa, and someone that for some reason I keep calling a human waste of a perfectly good ejaculate. Miss AJ Ruley.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is AJ, and today I'm joined by Elliot Kenter to talk about safety at secular conferences. Elliot, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having
Oh,
me.
the guy who's going to be on the board this year that was the internal investigator last year. My police testimony.
Say my name. You're goddamn right. You know exactly who I am. You guys know what show that's from. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Let's just take another little quick side quest over to the Ways to Human page. Oh, wait. Is that more NanoCon sponsors? It sure is. Ooh, is this her in SR 3 weeks ago? Talking about atheists, morality is subjective. No objective and not God-given with the secular Jesus Christ. His new nickname. Ooh, more NanoCon sponsors. Ooh, more SR, more NanoCon sponsors. More Elliot Cantor. Say my name, say my name.
Say my name.
Say my name, say my name. Atheist morality. Ooh, hanging out with the flying monkeys. You've been running game. Ooh, all the flying monkeys. Y'all been hanging out, throwing it in people's faces, thinking shit is a game. Now we have more, but I have to remind y'all of something very, very important in the middle of all this. Because I need you to understand, we've been trying to tell you stupid motherfuckers this shit since fucking December. So yeah, you're waiting for the rest of the big payoff about this bitch. And I'm gonna make you wait for it. And you know what I want you to understand? I'm enjoying this. We're not part of this community anymore. We're chilling, smoking weed, getting drunk at the scenic overlook, hurling criticisms from a very safe distance. Me and my friends have got all the way up out of there. Well, we're just hanging around, burning it down.
Ooh, and now I'm out here looking like revenge, best I ever been. Hey, and yeah, I know I'll bet it must hurt to see me like this, but it is worse. Now you're out here looking like regret. Ain't too proud to break, second chance you'll never get. And yeah, I know I'll bet it must hurt to see me like this,
But it gets worse.
Now payback is a bad bitch, and baby, I'm the baddest. You fucking with the savage, can't have this now.
And it'd be nice for me to take it easy on ya, but nah,
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry. Being this bad got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but you were in my hood. Now you're sorry. You're so sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
You're so sorry. Being this bad got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but you were in my hood.
Baby, finance is the way to kill. Tell me how it feels, but it's such a bitter feeling. Yeah, I know you thought you had bigger, better things than right now this thing. But the grass
a savage, can't have it, can't have it, nah. And it'd be nice for me to take it easy on ya, but nah.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Being this bad got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but you ain't in my hood.
Baby, I'm sorry.
Not sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry.
Not sorry.
Feeling inspired from the table to the sun. And I'm afraid I know that it's bad.
Can't wait to see y'all clip this video, man. I want to see the fan art. I want to see a little clip. Go ahead and make a little clips of this one. All the people y'all be talking about all that morality, all that secular morality, y'all standing on business. Where's your fucking content now, you fucking cowards? You're so sorry. You exposed, you're so sorry. Being so bad got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but this is my hood. And now you're sorry. You're so sorry. You've been exposed, and you're so sorry. Fucking around. But this is our town, and this shit's going down. You're so sorry. You're so sorry, bitch. Got me feeling so good. You was fucking around, but you're in my hood. And now you're sorry. You're so sorry. You're being exposed. You're so sorry. You was fucking around. Thought it felt so good. You was fucking around, but you're in my hood.
Ooh, I'm on fire. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you see what happened over here? That felt good as fuck, didn't it? Bre, tell these people what the fuck is going on.
So we know how we you don't like. I have things to say. I have my own, and you being like, oh well, AJ already wrote this story out, so we know how we you don't need to include this part. Yeah.
She said AJ wrote the story out. You putting it together now, gang? Your last safe place ain't safe. It ain't safe because you got the fucked up history from a whole bunch of people who wanted everybody to be on board with the same alternate reality bullshit. Mm-hmm. And here's Bre, who barely made it. Just to tell you, AJ wrote the story. Now watch how many people keep blaming me for all of this. How black men become responsible for white crimes. You're going to have to look into some of the other content. Get the full story there.
Well, I don't agree with AJ's version of the story. I don't agree with the way AJ tried to coerce me into changing mine. Again, over days and days and days. I don't agree with how Hell's Bells here, who just popped into the chat just now, told me that if I come forward with my story, that it's gonna change my dynamic in the community. That basically, yeah, you're gonna be shunned, Bre. If you come forward with this, you're gonna be shunned. So, like, what is this now? Oh, you push me and push me, and now I'm here up on the edge, and everybody wants to come in and talk me down. Right? I've been on the fucking edge for months because of this shit. And none of it's all like, no, we have to keep quiet to protect somebody's reputation. You need to stop talking about this, Bre. You need to stop talking about this. You need to just put everything aside that I'm a person who loves, okay? That's all. I don't want to be part of this. I don't. I'm just reading what you all are saying. I just want to be able to be honest. And if I think somebody misbehaved and they had bad behavior, I want to be able to say it and not be like, oh, well, if you say that, then we're not going to be your friend anymore.
Say my name. You're goddamn right. You know exactly who I am. You guys know what show that's from. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that let me live rent-free in their heads. I appreciate it. Keep saying my name.
Could it be SR through down the stairs another lady? 'Cause if you took it there, first of all, let us say we are not the ones to sit around and be played. Say my name when no one is around you. AJ, we don't love you. You've been running games. Say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't acting like a lady. Better say my name. We'll see you next time.